And as I walk by, I'm just remember what I said about the turning point.
Okay, everybody. So where last we left off, you guys were traveling towards your next destination when you were interrupted in your path by a whooshy, tentacle-y individual that, while at first you were highly apprehensive about, you discovered to be a rather friendly creature with a very long and difficult to pronounce, impossible to pronounce, in fact, since it requires the use of telepathy, name. Who pleaded for your help in rescuing some of its compatriots who were being assaulted by mind flayers. Never once to shrink away from a task, especially not if it seems like you might be able to get something out of it. The party rushed to the aid of the flumphing creature. As you arrived, you battled bravely against a series of tentacled monsters that attacked your brain, as well as little brains that attacked your brain. In Paxon's case, so badly that he went completely catatonic. After Magnus seemed to perform a miracle using kind of drawing on the powers of Etch and kind of deeply taking a toll on his own body, you were able to restore Paxon, and you discovered after a fierce battle that the friends you were here to save were a young, kind of early teenage-year-old girl and her mentor and companion, an undead mind flayer going by the name of Phenom. After a somewhat apprehensive conversation where everybody introduced themselves, you ended up kind of in this uncomfortable stalemate where no one in the party super trusts Phenom, but you're all feeling a little bit battered up, and it doesn't seem to be a great moment to start a fight, and he has offered you lodging and potentially access to the treasures hidden within his library. And as an added bonus, the Indexer informed you that, much to your surprise, this was where you were headed all along.
Alright. What were the last 3 things you ate?
What?
Like, I'm talking like the ritual thing.
Well, it is a bit personal, but I suppose if I don't answer, you'll take that to mean something terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is only possible to become one such as myself when entered into a pact of sorts with other mind flayers. One mind flayer on their own is unable to achieve willing undeath. So I had to entertain individuals who I found less than savory, but who similarly lusted after arcane power. So, in the final moments after our achieving our state, I defeated them and sacrificed them.
And how long ago was
that? Just about 120 years ago by my count, although honestly it's a little hard to keep track, and I have many distractions.
So how many years does that mean you have left?
100,
200, 300, something in that range?
Probably something in that range, yes.
Yo, I've been loving how quiet Lunith has been. It's just a dream.
One of the mind flayers that I consumed was old, but as I said, the time that I gain is based on how long one has lived, not how long they can. So, the individuals that I betrayed were for the most part inexperienced mind flayers. So, I'm actually not riding on a large surplus of years to live.
Right. Okay, well...
So you betrayed all your buddies and now you want us to trust you.
That's tough, buddy.
Well, you don't have to trust me. You're welcome to leave.
Alright. Paxon, what do you think?
I think we can't take a fight right now.
I mean, I'd agree with you, but in general. I mean, he hasn't done anything bad, as far as I can tell. He hasn't hurt anybody who didn't have it coming.
Right. But he'll have to at some point.
Maybe.
You know, despite brief introductions, I don't believe any of you actually enlightened me as to your names. You know my name, you know my apprentice's name. I assume
Here we go again.
you've been told the name of our floaty friend there, and you look over at the flump just kind of floating on top of the head of the this strange, awful orb of red tentacles and eyes.
Here's a question, George, actually. Is there, like, power in names? Is that, like, a thing?
Roll an Arcana check.
As far as... Yeah, okay. Just because I'm looking at Powerful Wizard, asking me for a name, not sure I
he's a
want to answer
warlock.
it. Yeah, Warlock perhaps too, yeah.
Yo, if he's a warlock, we're gonna get lit.
That's not the sort of thing you would be aware of.
Okay. Yeah, so Robert will my name is Robert, so Robert Onceborn, Knight of the Order of Seven Swords, second Steward of the Sun of Vale.
I'm sure that name has a story.
It has around 6,
Please,
actually.
do not ask. Please, I'm begging you. Hi, I'm Magnus Fowler.
Good to meet you, Magnus. You have...
I'm,
Oh, I'm sorry. Please.
yeah, it's good. I'm gonna tell you. I was sorry, I was non-existent for a few minutes. So hang back for a little.
Not to worry, my friend. I understand it has been a stressful arrival here in my home.
Robert looks at Marine. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Paxton will just interrupt then. Paxton Lomé, Talon of Justice.
That son, good to meet you. I think the last one was Marine, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phenom's kind of slightly
Me?
dried out, soulless eyes stare at you.
Dave.
She stares back.
Oh my god.
Paxton looks at Marine.
Hey, have you ever thought about Marine in the last, I don't know how long? Then they know who you are.
Yeah.
Marine
Magnus,
doesn't
ever the peacekeeper, will introduce Marine. This is Marine Petrus.
Ah. My dear, if
She
you're
doesn't talk
attempting
much.
to speak with me telepathically, it's not working.
I am not.
It was a joke.
It wasn't funny.
Oh dear god.
Okay. Anyway, right. Let's get on with things then. Sorry, you said there were some things you wanted us to look at. Is that?
Yes. Well, I am leaving, and I am grateful to you. So, I cannot take everything I have here. So feel free to, as they say, ransack the place. The only things that are off limits are my research in this desk, and he kind of floats across the room. I would ask that you not
I've never been invited to ransack someplace.
tarnish it. And that large purple carpet at the other side of the room, it is...
The circular one?
yes, it is significant to the way that Emma and I live our lives, so I would ask that you not disturb that either. And, well, our beds, it would be unfortunate if you took our bed sheets right before our final evening here.
I could imagine.
But I don't think that'll be necessary.
Yeah, we don't.
Is there anything specific you wanted to draw our attention to among the things you're offering us?
Well, let's see. There are perhaps some things that would be of interest to your type, but I recommend first looking at the exhibits we have on display. I typically use these as teaching tools for my young apprentice, but seeing as how we'll be packing up and going, I suppose you may as well take a gander at them if you should feel yourself so inclined.
Certainly, let's have a look.
This is your research or something that was here when you moved in?
This place is a research center of sorts. A lot of the research here was pertaining to life cycles, cycles of life and death, aging, natural processes, like that. So,
Convenient place for you.
yes, there are many convenient places like this in the library if you're looking for one specifically. If one wishes to make a home in the library, one will often find a place to stay and read to their heart's content.
Sounds like a trap.
Well,
Everything in here is a trap.
he looks at his kind of wrinkly tentacles and hands. In some ways it is.
Well, let's see what you've got. Let's have a look at these exhibits.
Now this is exciting.
I want to check everything for traps.
So he motions, he kind of walks over here and slides open another secret door, revealing an entryway into this kind of row of rooms that you guys briefly glimpsed at before. You extrapolate that there's this indentation in the wall here is likely another one of those secret doors. Yeah, he just beckons you through. I shall begin preparing for our departure. As they say, think really loud if you need me.
So can we see anything from in here, George, or are we expected to walk into this thing?
Yeah, I mean you can see what's in the room with the little like sliding bit of the wall open. In that final room, you can see that there's a stone tablet floating slightly above a little like wooden stand for it, and in a chest just below, not in a chest, in a case just below it, there is a black chest adorned with various symbols of like skulls and things like that.
Ooh.
I'm gonna walk in.
Yeah, you walk in and nothing springs at you from the shadows, although you can see a slightly wet spot on the shelf where you presume one of those brains was sitting for a while.
Oh.
That could have been in us.
Is there
It could have
like
been in
runes
Paxson.
and shit on the on the tablet?
There are, yeah. It says this.
Same.
I assume
Oh.
if we spoke that language, we would be able
I know it. That's Dwarvish. It's found
Oh,
when
well,
the
then go look at it.
dwarves. Yeah, found when the dwarves of the Undermountain made an expedition to another place. This chest can only be opened by the hardiest of creatures. It is said to contain a great treasure for everyone that proves able to open it, and harsh punishment for those unworthy.
That
try.
sounds like
Yeah, I
conjack.
think I'm starting to sound like unworthy right now.
Robert, certainly he looks at it and he gets kind of antsy.
Rob,
Oh
okay, no. Before let's look at the other room.
Just let him.
Robert,
He's gonna
something
he's
shiny.
gonna do it. He's gonna do
Something
it. Just let him
shiny
do
over
it.
there, Robert.
If you're going to do it,
Listen, it's not leaving. We can try it tomorrow once we've all rested up. All right?
That seems like a good idea, Robert.
but then I'll have to spend the spell on enhance ability another time? I don't think so.
I don't even know which ability you're enhancing, to be honest.
I mean,
Hardy
Con.
seems
Already
like
could. I'm thinking
Con.
con.
Definitely con.
But
Yeah.
it-
Is this a door here, or are they all kind
Yeah,
of secret?
the doors are all open. That's why you can see through them.
Oh, okay.
I'll just reveal all the rooms to you.
yeah, I'll go up here.
Wait, I'm so happy. Dwarvish came in handy.
We got a fucking canoe! Hell yeah!
I canoe. Never mind.
Can you believe this?
There we
I
go.
canoe
There's the
it.
joke I was looking for.
In
it.
that room, there's a thick book that, at a brief glance, seems to detail. I have kind of a long series of detailed instructions and kind of explanations of the history and the study of the creation of homunculi.
You what?
Creating
What?
a small living assistant using your own blood. And it also very lightly touches the creation of simple golems, like
Oh no, I know
like,
this.
you know, flesh.
Robert will pick up the book.
Oh, Robert.
Where are you
Wait,
going
no,
with
I know
that?
this too. The book I
shall
read.
be mine.
The one about the wizard named Graham? He had one of these. It was his partner in crime. I think it was more of a comedic relief character than anything else, but...
Robert sort of like peers over the book, and he'll go and like look at the front. Is it like a nicely is it like an ornate book?
Yeah, I mean, it's nicely bound. The pages are a little bit weathered by age, but they're made of vellum, so they've lasted, like, they've endured the elements.
Incredible.
Hmm.
I mean,
This isn't magic, is it?
huh. I'll have to take a quick look at this. I mean, golems, I mean, that's one of the mill, but a homunculus. Well, that's theoretically impossible. Incredible. So taking a quick gander at it, would this be an Arcana check, or can you not tell with an Arcana check if something's magical?
You can make an Arcana
Like-
check.
Alrighty.
Robert will not help.
Jesus,
You're letting
the
him look
pettiness
at it
is
helping
real.
enough.
I was muted, but I said I would.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, so Lunith, it seems obvious to you that while this contains a set of detailed instructions for how to create a homunculus or a golem, just like simple golems, the hard way, it is not a magical item, and it will not make it any easier to do that.
Well, this could be helpful to a wizard per se, but for us, it's somewhat useless.
Robert will close the book and put it back.
In
Could
the
be
next
valuable.
room,
It will be. If he wants it, he can have it. But if he leaves it here, we'll take it tomorrow.
in the next room, there's a book that is kind of full of paintings. And there's no text in it. The book of paintings depicts a landscapes covered in a white, fluffy substance with dead trees. And there are humanoids walking along the surface of the white ground, clad in heavy gear made of furs. The only person here who has ever seen and has kind of an instinctual understanding of the snow that's on these pages is Robert. The rest of you have never seen this before in your lives.
Robert immediately snatches it. He sort of
What
starts
is
looking
that?
at it, starts peering at it. He's like, no, I've seen this before. He starts flipping through the pages.
I want to get in the canoe.
You fit in the canoe.
Is there
You
anything
do.
special about the canoe, or is it just a canoe?
You see that the inside of it seems to be lined with like an ancient kind of oiled and stretched furs and leather to be watertight. And you can see some of the paintings in the book depict individuals in heavily kind of heavy gear made of furs riding around in insulated boats like this on the icy water flows. There's also a pair of foot kind of coverings that... Actually, okay, it may have been incorrect to say none of you have ever heard of snow. You may have seen like a hedge wizard or someone create it as part of like a show, but to cover the landscape like this, no.
Popping my head in. Oh, so the old thing seems like it still works. Can you believe it?
Just ignore him.
Ugh.
Walk away.
But there's some strange wide netted shoes that you guys with meta knowledge will know to be snowshoes.
Oh,
This
metagame.
appears as if it could disperse someone's weight on snow.
Robert will pick up the book and he'll be like,
No, they're flippers.
Robert's picked up the
They're
book.
for swimming.
She's not wrong.
Alright, what's in the last
Where are
room?
you going, Robert?
Robert?
He's leaving.
Now then,
He's going to find
Robert?
the undead guy.
Robert?
Okay.
We lost him.
He's
Oh well.
collecting the book and he's left.
In that first room, that's the room that you encountered first. There is a book. I think somebody ended up reading the title.
I don't
The book is titled The Life of a Grick. It is written in Undercommon. And there is a small kind of purple worm wriggling around in the fluid nearby it.
Right, I do remember this. Gross.
Oh, maybe don't touch that.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
going to. Question, does anyone have in their inventory the boxes? The tracker things that we stole off the dead tentacly guys?
The indexers for the Mind Flayer
Probably all
colony?
on Robert.
Oh, the colony
Yes.
locators?
Yeah,
Yes,
they're
the
probably
colony
all on Robert.
locators. Just make sure you actually have that in your inventory. I don't want us forgetting things.
You guys hear hooves treading into the first room.
Oh god, Arion. Paxson, you should probably inform him of things.
Pat.
Popping the head back out. Marie. Actually found something you may like.
What?
What? Well, when you go back to the main lobby, check underneath the right side of the desk, to the right of the chair. There's something down.
Right of the chair?
Yeah.
She looks at him suspiciously.
I could get it for you if you would prefer.
No, I'll... If this is a trap, you're not waking up tomorrow.
If it's a trap... As she walks away, if it's a trap, I'm glad I sent her. Goes back.
Okay.
I'm going
to check for traps.
Alright, roll an investigation check.
Aura just chases with aura.
You find the old hidden chest that's labeled offerings.
Okay. Is it locked?
It does appear to be locked.
Alright, summoning the mage hand and stepping back while I unlock it.
Okay. Roll a Thieves' Tools check.
31.
Yeah, okay.
Jesus.
You blow on it and it
Somebody's
opens.
soul with that one.
As you flip it open, you can see that there is some kind of enchantment potentially on this box. It seems to hold slightly more things inside of it as you kind of dig your hand around than there was than it would appear from the size of it. And with the size of it, it's still pretty hefty. It's like probably about like 2 laptops across. 30 inches. It's like a 30-inch by 30-inch chest. Okay. Or no, 30-inch by like 20-inch chest. But anyway, here's the contents of it, Marine.
That's a lot of gold. Ooh.
Oh, we're at a museum. That was probably the cash register. Offering.
Mine now.
What is it, Marine?
Paxson is standing right by you. Paxson, you see a massive
Damn it.
quantity. As Marine is looking in the chest, you see a enormous quantity of money and items.
That's a lot of money.
This was not part of my plan. When I sent Marine to take care of this, I'm like, no one's gonna notice Marine getting it.
Anyway, cut to Robert, who walks into the room. You see Phenom and Emma standing across from each other, standing stock still, making eye contact with each other, nary a word being spoken. They both look up as you walk in.
Yeah, Robert sort of like storming into the room. He's like, "What is this?" And he goes and he holds up the picture book. Where is this?
That is it's a book of paintings.
Paintings of what?
Well, if you look into it a little bit, it is theorized that there are places outside of the reach of modern travel, and that individuals such as yourself may have inhabited in the distant past, that contained vastly different climate structure and kind of identity. So that is one of the relics in this library that refers to that.
Okay. Do you know anything else about this place?
I have not researched it myself. I believe most likely it is a place on another plane. I assume that casters in this world would have found a way to travel to it if it was easily reachable, but...
Damn it! Alright. Robert goes and puts the book in the bag of holding. I don't suppose you wanted that.
Please. It seems to mean more to you than it means to me.
When you say people such as myself, do you mean humans or people such as myself?
Yes. Ordinary kind of... Not lesser, but not mind flayer beings.
But then all of them, all humanoids.
Well, yes. I presume that there was once a way to cross over to there.
Oh.
Or perhaps that is a painting of our islands, and this is all that there ever was. I just like to think more openly than that, but perhaps there is some great climactic cycle waiting to crash down upon us and fling us into a frozen, snowy existence.
Alright. This has been an enlightening conversation. Sorry for interrupting. And Robert leaves.
Goodbye.
Robert will sit down and look at this book.
None of it looks particularly holy. The box of perfumed candles, perhaps, could be used for holy purposes. It's like incensed candles, but it's not like, nothing has
Magic.
a marking of any god on it, and nothing is magic. Well, nothing is holy, like hallowed or anything like that. That's all your divine sense can tell you.
Gotcha.
You assume the bottles of, potion-y looking stuff are probably magical.
Yeah, I mean, I assume.
Okay, well, don't forget to share that money, Marine.
Actually, wait, I probably can't reach.
Oh, come on,
tough.
you're not that short.
Just
No,
use your
she's-
mage
How
hand.
tall is Robert?
And he's that tall.
Just use the mage hand.
Isn't he like super? Oh yeah, that's true.
You know what, Marine? I'd love to see that.
All right, this is happening.
Can't wait for our fish to
I
be
can't
put on
wait to
house
find
arrest.
what pushes Robert over the edge.
Alright, tell you what, do you guys want to roll initiative if you guys are kind of splitting off a little bit from each other? Marine,
Me and Magna.
it's you. It's time for
Give me-
shenanigans. It's the first thing we see happen.
Okay, so the mage hand is going to be with the tiara behind me
Okay.
as I just kind of casually walk across the room.
Roll sleight of hand.
Minimum 18 on that.
Actually, I don't think I get the +5 because it's. Oh, would this be pickpocketing?
No.
Okay, so I wouldn't get the +5.
I love how explicitly criminal the fucking gloves of... I mean, they are called the gloves of thievery.
Game over.
How
Alright,
good's your
Robert,
perception, Robert?
what's your passive perception?
Oh, 29.
16.
Yeah. Okay.
That's tough, buddy.
Marine, go ahead and describe whatever you want, I guess. He might
So
notice
Marine's
a little bit
going to-
afterwards, but Robert is nowhere near perceptive enough to pick up on.
So Marine kind of just casually walks by, goes into this room, and as she walks by, the mage hand floats above Robert's head and kind of gently places it down onto his head.
The tiara?
The tiara, yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and put that into Robert's inventory.
He immediately gets corrupted from within,
It's super
turning
cursed.
into an
It's
eldritch
definitely
atrocity.
No way you gave me a trash tiara. You at least gave me a good tiara.
It's an iron tiara.
Oh,
Are
an
you
iron
kidding me?
crown! Wow.
Marine, are you gonna do anything else as you walk into that room?
No, I'm just looking around.
Okay.
Or- I'm just waving to the room's occupants.
They acknowledge you. They wave back.
This thing is
That's
worth
what the-
25 gold pieces. This is not befitting of my station as second steward of the Sunken Vale.
That is super befitting of your
I have a real
station.
title.
Alright, so,
Well, they haven't been identified, so who knows?
is that all you're doing, Marine?
Yeah, that's all I'm doing.
Okay. Next up in the initiative is Magnus.
Hey, let's get some dirt on this guy. So Magnus is gonna come over to Eggy and just start like So how'd you meet them? Like, no offense, you're a flumph and he's an undead. Yeah.
Eggy kind of
You
like
watched him
his
walk
stalks
in the room.
rise up above the tentacles of the mind witness and just kind of stare at you. When they blink out of sync. What can I say? You float around here long enough and you meet some people.
Like, how long have you known them?
Oh, I don't know. Time flies. We flumps don't really worry too much about the date, so it's hard to tell.
Oh, but certainly long enough, right?
Well, a little while for sure. I mean, I was pretty spooked of him for a hot minute, and but then I saw that he was taking pretty good care of little Emma over there, and that made me feel like probably he was more of a tender spirit than his dried out, creepy undead exterior implies.
Alright, that's pretty much the only useful information I could probably get out of him. And then, Magnus is gonna go over here. Oh, nice tiara, Robert.
Robert entirely ignores things.
He's gonna come over here and he's gonna ask Phenom, hey, I'm sorry, you two look like you're in the middle of something.
Is there something you needed?
I was just wondering, you've been here a while, do you know of any, glass balls or other things that this spell definitely, a crystal ball, a silver mirror, but I don't know Marine has that. A mirror or,
A mirror, you say?
a font of some
Worth
kind?
1,000
maybe?
GP.
No, it's definitely not worth that much.
My quest to get scrying.
Perhaps in the museum's storage crates there could be something.
Okay.
Maybe you can have a look around, I suppose.
Well, we're gonna raid this place tomorrow, right? So I just wanted to see if you knew anything offhand. Thank you.
I don't participate so much in that aspect of the arcane arts.
Okay. Thanks anyway. And like walks out. And
Marine's gonna follow him out.
Yeah.
Not sketchy at all.
There's still like rooms down here, right? What's down here?
Oh, nice hat, Robert.
It's
So-
a tiara.
There's a secret door. As you slide it
Oh,
open,
it's a secret door.
yeah, but they're visible from inside here. It seems like the room that's most difficult to get into in here is Phenom's room. There's a room. It has some bookshelves in the center that are just kind of stuffed with a variety of books that all appear to be kind of like biological study books.
Alright, I'm gonna say that for the rest of the whatever this is, that Magnus will just be thumbing through the books in here.
Okay.
Looking for information on dragons, maybe, I guess. That is the thing we followed, right?
Okay, why don't you go ahead and roll me an investigation check. So you spend a little bit of time looking, 30-ish minutes just kind of browsing. You find one book that details, a secret to longevity. It's written in kind of a scrawling script of some, copy monk somewhere. It appears to be not so carefully written and details a variety of supplements for living a longer life. Like sheep's liver and dried, ground up basilisk scales, and but the biggest one is the dragon's heartstring. Is said to be a great improver of the length of life, and dragon parts in general are mentioned a lot in this book. Whether ground up, dried, pickled, to be eaten, or applied in any number of ways, the book can't stop touting the benefits of finding and killing and carving a dragon.
Yeah, Magnus is gonna put that one back.
Alright. Robert Onceborn. That brings us to your turn.
Robert's got nothing going on. He's just flipping through the book right now.
Okay.
With a little tiara.
He's entirely ignoring everyone, so.
That brings us to Lyneth.
The data. Alright. Yeah, so definitely interested in this book. Thumbing through it, but inevitably deciding what it's like. Artifice isn't capable of creating life. There's nothing I can do with this, but taking a bit to ponder it and looking at the mark they have. Well, perhaps I'll just give it a quick glance then. Picking up the book and putting it underneath their arm, however you would pronounce that, and walking out of the room. We must search the other. Walking out immediately, seeing Robert with tiara. It's kind of cute. It tries to avoid looking in that direction. Makes absolutely no comment. Blushingly walks by. Magnus. You find anything interesting?
Magnus is nose deep in a book about
a lot
longevity.
of dragon dismemberment. A lot about dragon dismemberment.
Looking
like an uncomfortable amount about dragon
back
dismemberment.
in the room, seeing Paxson. Ooh. What kinds?
You know what, George? I changed my mind. I'll pocket the book. Why not?
Okay, that's your inventory.
Well, between you and me, with how we live our lives, it's only a matter of time till we run out of one. Probably want to keep that on hand, just know what will fetch a pretty penny at the very least.
Magnus immediately gives you suspicious eye. He's been on your side, but that sounds like you're planning something.
No, it's just, like, you've heard of snake oil, right? I'm assuming dragon oil is especially expensive on markets. We should keep an eye out for it. I'm not saying that we should sell it. Look, we're not big on the dragon eating business, I'm certain, with, Paxson, like, literally worshipping them. But it's just, who knows? More knowledge shouldn't hurt. Did you check out any of these other rooms?
No, I haven't had the time.
I'll give it a quick peek then. I'm gonna walk over here and what do we got?
More and more books on biology and the cycles of life and death.
Which of these can I use to make a homunculus?
Why? You literally left the book in this library that you could use to make a homunculus sitting around.
No, I took it.
Oh, okay.
Not that I'm capable of creating one, but probably shouldn't explore too far. I'll just take a quick look at the books for now.
Don't be a pussy. One more room. Go on.
That's rich coming from you. But I'll grab a couple of books as I'm walking out, kind of like walking out with like holding the big ass homunculus book as like the table book and just a couple of stacks of them. Walking by Magnus, hey, and going to the dinner table, plopping down and starting to get reading.
Okay. You can go ahead and roll a investigation check. The most interesting book you find that isn't just kind of either stuff you already know or stuff you're not particularly interested in is this book that's bound in these like old aged but oddly well preserved leaves and a like cloth binding. You open it up and it appears to be the writings of an ancient druid of some kind on the cycles of life and death and how death is it's basically part philosophy, part lifetime study book about how death should not be like run from, basically, because it's a natural conclusion to life, and that there's something the druid has written down as it's just the word rot but with a capital R that builds up in a person if they persist for too long.
Ooh, that ain't good, is that? But as they plop down, I just remembered I'm gonna look over at Marine. Find what you were looking for?
Surprisingly, yes.
No traps, right?
No.
Not yet then. And I'm gonna go back to reading.
Great. Wait, before you, go back to, or actually probably after, because Marine's a bitch. After you go back to reading, she's gonna lean over and whisper something.
Paxson leans in.
make a perception check.
You know what we look like right now? It's just the Wi-Fi signal. It's just significantly looming over each other one by one.
Marine, how hard are you trying to hide this whisper?
Not very hard.
Okay, I'll say Paxton probably hears that.
There we go.
Paxton's gonna leave this conversation.
Really furrowing my brow and looking back over at Marine. Look, I know that was you.
Obviously.
As you leave the conversation, Paxton, it's your turn.
Yeah, it looks like people aren't done exploring over here. Hey, Magnus.
Hey, Paxon.
What's on the bookshelf over here? Anything good?
Book song, longevity and life, and lots of dragon dismemberment.
I was gonna ask if you found any dragon books. Dragon dismember books doesn't sound like what we're after, though.
No, it's not.
Okay. I'm just gonna...
You know, I'm assuming this is happening, like, while he's reading through things, so... Like,
Yeah, this is all sort of kind of happening at the same time. The abstraction of the time that's passing is a little wonky because obviously you're going sequentially, but yeah.
It's okay. Paxton spent a while talking to Marine. So I'm gonna spread out this room.
This room appears to be like an index. There's little shelves with index cards that seem to indicate the title and author and location in this little library of various topics.
Nice. This one's gonna be really helpful. This will tell us where to find books.
oh, yeah! Still reads his book. You know, you found the answer, and he's just ignoring it.
Just more books over here, huh? He's just trying to, like, check the whole place, make sure that there's no, like...
And we gotta go, it's a bomb!
As you open this door, it opens into this room, which appears to have various desks covered in like research materials and books and some alchemical things.
And also bomb.
There's a big like glass pane that opens up, and past it you can see that there is a cage, which contains a number of creatures. There's like a pane of glass and some iron bars separating you from them. That's represented by this like stone bit of the floor. But sitting in a large cage, there appear to be a number of small draconid beings. Yeah,
pseudo-dragon?
and one large kind of wyverny creature.
I don't have a pet.
Just kind of resting on various like little metal like cat tower like perches that have been laid out for them.
That's adorable.
The wyvern is kind of lying with its long wyverny neck kind of partially wrapped around itself, and you can see that one of the pseudo dragons is like kind of resting on top of it. You can immediately see that they seem to have three separate little personalities. The wyvern is asleep, so you can't tell anything about it. But there's the one pseudo-dragon, which appears to be playfully trying to engage the other one, which is kind of ignoring it very purposefully.
Is this another door over here?
Yes. As you open this door, it reveals kind of a space, just kind of a small space in the wall. As you walk into that room, you can see that to your left there is a wall that, when you were looking into the cage previously, is opaque. You can't see through it. But from this side, you can observe the creatures without them being able to see you.
Oh, fun. I think I've checked the whole place over. It's sure weird in here.
Oh, what'd you find?
Oh, well, the little cards over there are going to be really helpful. The wyvern and the pseudo-dragons over in a cage over there, I don't know what we're going to do with those.
I'm sorry, you found what?
There's a wyvern and 3 pseudo-dragons in a little cage. With a cute little cat tower.
Oh. Okay. You know, we know a dragon. I guess I shouldn't be shocked by these things, but I kind of still am.
It seems...
For God's sake, we ran into Eggy earlier today, and this is just... okay.
I would have to guess this is his best stand-in for a real dragon at the moment.
Oh no.
So...
Goodies.
Is it late right now?
You guys were traveling for about a day before you got here. The wearies of kind of being in a battle are messing with your perception of how much time has actually passed, but the party probably feels pretty tired.
Alright, so we'll deal with all of this in the morning, I guess.
Okay.
Paxton's gonna make a bed somewhere.
Magnus will make a bed right next to Paxson.
So I guess as you guys all kind of meet back up in this room, Phenom kind of comes out and is like, "Have you had your fill of exploration?"
For
Not really.
today, maybe.
Yeah, you were busy exploring something else.
We're not doing that.
Okay.
Does Robert
Look,
still
we'll
have
settle.
the tiara
Okay, we're
on?
settling this in Smash.
Marine, would you like to potentially distribute some treasure and things?
Oh, I was just gonna put it all into the bag of holding.
Okay, well, you have to talk to Robert about it to do that,
Yeah, you'd
right?
have to talk to Robert.
No, not even. Just slip it in when he's not looking.
he can even be explicitly looking, probably. She'll roll so high.
Alright, look, right. I personally don't think that my perception for somebody walking into the room should be the same perception as somebody touching my fucking face. Personally.
It wasn't your face, though. It was just resting gently on top of your head.
Right. Okay, sure. Robert's hair is not that long.
Actually, that would make it less likely.
No,
that you would feel
like I said, Robert, probably a little while after that, you could notice pretty quickly. Like it's just in the
like, hey,
moment
what's
of having
this thing
it put
on my
on.
head? Yeah.
You know?
I was waiting for someone specific to incriminate themselves, but they wisely decided not to say anything.
Yeah, I wasn't
after a
going to
while-
incriminate myself.
Yeah, after a while, Robert will go and take off, go and like reach up and like take it off his head and look at it. Like, who did that? And he'll
You
look
didn't
up.
do that? It's been there
How
for
does
a while.
everyone react when Robert?
You want to know the answer? Ice emoji.
Marine's busy
Well-
harassing Luna.
Paxson sold her out.
Of course. How could you? What do you mean, how could I?
Robert sort of nods his head. I see where the loyalties lie in this party. He goes and he'll just
For
put it
what
in the
it's
bag of
worth-
holding.
He now owes me 10 gold.
I may have made a small bet.
Ah, a man of the cloth betting.
It was less of a bet and more of it seemed like it would be fun.
And what if
Right?
I'm giving 10 gold to Marine?
harm
because you're
done.
betting with Marine.
It's probably not cursed.
I
Wait,
Oh god.
you didn't know if it was
Speaking of
cursed
Is it
cursed,
cursed?
we found the chest.
No, it's not cursed.
Marine, where did you get this?
Oh, the chest.
What chest?
I guess she
Found-
plops down the chest in the middle of the room.
Yeah, sure.
Where was she keeping it?
I don't know,
Just
on
over
her.
her shoulder. Just over the shoulder, be like,
Oh, this
Yeah,
one.
this thing? Boom.
Alright. George, if you just go ahead and put that in the party inventory so we can figure out what we're dealing with.
Yeah,
here.
I'm just gonna share it with all of you, then I'm gonna go slide it into the party inventory, just so you can see what's in it.
Okay.
That looks like maybe magical things.
Yeah.
Some of them, I think, are, yeah.
My, look at this data.
Like the
We've got
leather
the
belt.
time to pour through it.
Marine, if
squat.
some of those
We'll talk about
mine,
human
they're
things
yours
like-
now.
Like spending money.
Yeah.
Robert would look at the leather belt with the moss agate, the leather rhythm pewter brooch, and the small silver mirror. He's kind of wondering if any of those are magical. Is he getting any sort of magic vibes from it?
Roll an Arcana check. None of them
Pretty
seem
arcane.
to actually be giving off any kind of magical energy. They're just kind of decorative little bits of jewelry.
Really?
Okay.
Well, I've got time to kill before I turn in. After all, I personally believe that we should, even though we're in the comfort of someone's home, we should still do our watches.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said,
Yeah.
This will give me something to
there are the two potions,
what
and
happened
you guys,
last time.
Yeah.
anyone can identify a potion by just tasting a little drop of it.
Robert will taste the vial of red liquid that shimmers when agitated.
That, you, like, one of your probably many scabs from your adventuring life just kind of heals quicker and chips off somewhere in
Ooh.
your body.
Healing potion.
Oh, it's healing.
I tend not to test potions just out of, just out of principle.
What kind of potion is it?
I
what
will
kind of
identify
healing?
it for you now that you've done that.
And does somebody want to check out the other one?
I'll do it.
Oh, was it identified?
Potion of greater healing.
Ooh.
Oh,
44
it's
plus
worth
4.
noting, the potion of healing in our bag, it's not with us, it's with Kieselina.
You
Magnus,
threw some potions in the cooler.
Yeah?
I have so many
roll a
things.
Constitution saving throw.
Oh god damn it. I drank the
Because
bag.
this potion comes in a very small
got it.
vial, so a drop of it is actually kind of a not insignificant dose of it.
Shit.
Okay, I feel like I should have been informed about that beforehand.
It's fine. It was a really easy Constitution saving throw, and you're able to overcome it.
Why is it a plus 10?
Whoa.
Yeah, you've got
Paxton?
2 auras on you right now.
Oh.
Oh,
So
There you
it's
go.
instead of 27, it's 23.
Other people's auras.
Yeah.
Oh, but now
I
you're
think
fine.
you're good.
You're okay. As you start to, as you take the little drop of potion, you start to feel it affect you before your body easily fights off the very small dose of it. But for a moment, you are looking, as you kind of normally are, at Paxon. And there's this
Kinda
moment
good.
where, like, your vision starts to go a little pink around the edges, and you romanticize Paxon extremely.
oh,
I am here!
Robert, upon seeing Magnus start to go starry-eyed or whatever, going pure at the potion, is there a tiny bubble shaped like a heart in there?
Roll a perception check. Yeah, there is.
Looking back over the corner.
Oh
Looking back at Marine. This is the second we found.
Robert will let out a single chuckle.
yeah, that's,
That's a good shit.
it's the good shit.
The filter of love only actually works if you're normally attracted to that species and gender. So,
Alright.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that's
the
answer up,
perfect.
motherfucker.
You know what? I gotta tell you the truth though. That's kind of odd. Like when you drink it, it's like okay, time to come to terms with your sexuality.
so
right now.
you can consider whether or not that works for you. You still know the effects of it because you can feel the effects start to come over your mind. But you know what? That's up to you, Magnus. You don't have to say anything right now. If you don't
That's
want
on you, Chief.
No, George, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what happened. Good job.
That's what I'm saying.
Magnus
Like,
just
dude,
hands it off. Hearing Robert chuckle,
Dude.
he just gets the stone face and hands it off to Robert.
dude, most people in
puts it in
real
the bag
life
without
don't
saying
even know
anything.
what they really like. Period. What the fuck? How does
That's
this potion
true.
work?
Let's see.
Are you
Yeah,
talking?
I don't
Okay.
know what's going on.
So yeah, the money goes into the thing. You guys have money. You have some neat potions and things.
This is incredibly unethical to use, by the way, this potion.
Oh, yeah.
Unethical. Magnus, you have first watch. Robert goes to sleep.
Phenom is like, perhaps you'd like to join us for our nightly ritual.
Oh,
Define ritual.
what's that?
It's pronounced dinner.
Emma's like, it's fun. Just sit on the couch.
Oh, okay.
I'll stand over here.
You know what?
we'll sit on the couch.
Magnus is gonna do. Let's put our trust. Let's put our trust. Magnus is gonna do it. He's gonna
Paxon
plop down.
moves auras in.
So Phenom. Oh, by the way, also the Mind Witness and Eggy float over, and just kind of you can just hear just behind you, Magnus, the faint.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's worse, if it makes no noise at all, or if it makes slurping and flopping noises all the time.
I would say no noise at all.
It doesn't
Yeah,
make
right. That
At
would be
least I
pretty
can
bad.
track it.
it doesn't make any noise if it's not moving, but if its tentacles are twitching, which they kind of are most of the time, it makes noise.
Makes squishing.
You can also hear every time it blinks because it has a big kind of mucusy eye.
Ugh,
So it's just
gross.
like
I'm just
Like a
saying.
shudder.
I'm just saying, guys, if Paxon hadn't lost his mind quite literally, that thing could have been, like, part of our party. It could have been.
Thank goodness I lost my
it
mind.
doesn't blink often. Anyway, you guys find yourselves sitting here, and Phenom is like, are you all quite comfortable?
Yeah.
So,
All right, Emma. What'll it be? He kind of broadcasts his thoughts to all of you, and she speaks out loud for everyone's benefit. And she's like,
Did she just speak common?
you guys did learn a little bit about her origins. She grew up in the overworld. She was like thrown down into the library by someone in her early childhood and was rescued from the horrors of the library by Phenom. So she kind of thinks for a moment, and she's like, I don't know, let's just watch a rerun of something.
they're watching TV.
And you watch as the circular purple carpet in the center of the kind of the center of this little carpeted out sitting area lights up as this light travels across the purple, and you see a holographic kind of illusion image kind of project itself up out of the magic carpet, and it is a kind of weirdly proportioned, not very realistic looking knight walking along a road, and you guys proceed to watch like a 15-ish minute long silent skit of
Did we just watch a western?
of a knight who is trying desperately to capture a
Wily coyote.
it's a periton, which is like a big kind of winged creature with antlers. Since you see it in the illusion, I'll just share it with you.
Can I use prestidigitation to make background music?
The periton is in the image is very, very colorful and kind of wacky looking, and it continuously escapes the knight's efforts to track it down. It's kind of any of your character's real first exposure to slapstick, except maybe those of you who may have seen like a jester or something, or a bard performing this particular brand of comedy. So you're not really sure how to feel about it. And for a lot of you, if you haven't experienced this sort of comedy, the whole thing just seems kind of depressing, because it's basically this chivalrous knight continuously failing to capture this mischievous, large forest creature.
Oh no, Paxson.
I feel like
Paxson lives in a big city. No,
I'm
he
gonna
lives in
roll
a
for
big
sense of
city.
humor.
He definitely yeah.
Robert chuckles once.
Marine looks very confused.
He blows air out of his nose.
I like that Paxson's roll for sense of humor was a D4.
Yeah, that's
Dude, it's honestly, you know what? I gotta say, the narrative was pretty slow, but the OSTs would really cured it.
The music notes seem to make it really way funnier. It's strange how the sounds can change what a silent version of it, which seemed kind of dark, and take it with like Magnus's kind of magically simulated canned laughter and turn it into something quite
Did you give it a
amusing.
laugh track?
What?
Did you give it a laugh track?
no.
My
That's
favorite
just
is
terrifying
Magnus
to
is
think
just
about.
sitting there like doing his things like, haha guys, this is so looks over at everybody, everybody's like stone faced. He's got his Marine and Robert who blow air out of their nose.
Because you guys don't know how to have fun.
Anyway, Emma is laughing. Phenom stands emotionlessly at it. Emma greatly appreciates your addition of noises, Magnus. She's very impressed with that, and isn't shy about saying so pretty much the entire performance. She's like, that was awesome. We have to watch more. You have to keep doing that.
Oh no. We can't leave her down here, guys.
Oh, she's got a big day tomorrow. She better make sure that she gets plenty of sleep.
Phenom
Phenom's a
speaks up.
wizard.
Yes, for once I agree. Emma, you should get
You
some
don't
rest.
even know me enough to hate me yet.
Anyway, Emma is banished to her room. And Phenom is like, well, you know what? Why don't some of you go ahead and take my bed for the evening? I'm just going to stand guard. Pardon me if I don't trust you completely yet.
Of course. Yo, does this man have... Does this
Alright,
guy
but here's
molt?
the big
Is this bed
question.
molty?
Where's Eggy gonna sleep?
Robert sleeps in this corner with his bedroll.
Eggy.
Hey,
Magnus, you have first watch.
you guys mind if I skedaddle? I got family waiting for me, and they're gonna love this thing. And he kind of taps
Oh,
the
You have
thing.
family?
Oh my god, you have a family?
I immediately look at the door. Oh, well, I can't wait to see this one. How easy to get this thing out of this room.
Hey, got in
It's just
here.
gonna like.
It's just squishy.
Yeah.
Gets
Oh
out.
my god, yes. Oh yes, no, please have a good day.
Yeah,
Talk
it
to
makes
your
the noise
family.
which is like,
Holler if you need me. I tend to be floating around. Phenom may be able to tell you where to find me if you need some help. I know I offered you guys to give you instructions to what you were looking for, but it sounds like you got it figured out. So, see you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye. Waving him off like he's leaving on a cruise.
Oh no.
Alright, Magnus, looks like we're gonna be first watch. And they'll lean in. 10 gold. Marine sleeps in the canoe.
Robert kind of scoffs and leans back over and whispers, "Are you kidding? It's the last thing she wants. It's literally the only place where water can't get."
Well, I mean, you know what? I don't even have 10 gold, so.
Marine, you're sleeping. Where are you sleeping?
Marine's gonna fuck around with the circle thing for a while and try to figure out how it works.
If she gets it to
Please
light
try
up,
to turn it on.
Paxson says, "Can you turn it off? We're trying to sleep."
Roll an Arcana check, Marin.
Oh my god, this would be the
No.
roommate encounter where Marine Skype's watching fucking TV. And then Paxton's like, oh my god, no, we have work tomorrow. You have to turn that off.
Marine, are you not tired? Please.
I wanted to.
Marin,
Robert,
as you flip it on, a
Stop her,
small kind of illusory fireworks display begins to play in the circle in front of you.
Do you see this? Look at this!
Oh, it's so bright. Marine, please. I just want to go to bed.
But
Robert just.
I don't know how to turn it off.
Well, how'd you turn it on?
We have discerned that
I
this
don't
is a
know.
lie.
Do I know how to turn it
Paxson
off?
pulls the
Roll
covers
an Arcana
over.
check.
Paxton pulls the plug.
Paxson just
Don't
tucks
break
his
it.
head like in his sleeping bag and just like puts the pillow over his head.
Just roll the carpet on.
Marine, turn it off.
I don't know how.
I think I'm gonna just start at 5.
Marine is now trying to turn it off.
Yeah. Magnus is just
Alright,
gonna
Marine, roll
devastate.
2 more Arcana checks. See if you can figure it out before Lunith identifies.
Oh, come on!
Oh my god!
Oh, I meant I was gonna identify the leather ribbon, but you know what? Yeah, no, honestly, let's go figure out the telly first, huh?
As you eventually finish your spell, as Marin is scrambling to turn it off, you
Do I just roll it up?
no, you touch it and identify it, and you learn there's just kind of a way to move your hands near it that Marine was able to kind of copy off of Phenom before when he turned it on, and you just kind of touch it lightly with your foot to turn it back off. It's called a carpet of major image.
Oh.
We gotta get ourselves one of these.
Or sorry, of silent image.
Right.
Pardon me.
Marine kind of dejectedly lays down on the couch and goes to sleep.
Magnus just side eyes, Lunith.
Okay, so what's first watch?
Oh, Lunith and Magnus, apparently.
Oh.
Don't know when this shit happened.
I thought Robert said he was taking first watch, didn't he?
No.
No, Robert
Well,
kept
you
yelling at
decided to
Magnus
keep
take
him.
First watch.
No, Robert volunteered
Yeah,
others pretty quick.
Okay.
Robert volunteered others based on the sheet.
Yeah.
that we all agreed to.
No, you're absolutely right. This is the watchman.
No, it is, yeah.
Alright, Magnus and Luna. You can either both roll a perception check individually, or one of you can roll one at advantage.
Can I just start identifying instead?
Yeah, sure. Magnus, roll
I'll
an
roll
identify.
perception.
Roll a perception check.
Yeah, I will set the first watch with Magnus as a punishment, so I'm gonna go take advantage of this. Now it's real study hours.
So, you identify, what do you identify?
First up is leather ribbon.
Leather
Shit, what's
ribbon is a non-magical leather ribbon.
Damn it! I mean, yes, this is a leather ribbon.
It is worth 25 gold.
It is worth 25 gold.
Leather
What
belt with
we do,
moss.
what do we do? We do like hour watches, 2 hour watches. What do we do?
2 hours.
Hour? Oh, 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah, so I got plenty of time to ritual cast some more identifies in here.
Are you identifying all the items you got in the chest?
I think I have the ability to. So
All
I
of them
probably
are
will.
non-magical.
If you've got a minute, do you want to go look at
But
that
all
chest
magic-
that Robert's gonna kill himself over tomorrow?
You know what? Maybe I should. I'm gonna go walk over and identify the chest.
You can tell that the chest is enchanted with an like an arcane glyph, in an abjuration, a powerful abjuration spell that will trigger magic upon some activation criteria. The activation criteria being attempting to open it.
That's what it says on the tin. So, unless y'all have nothing else to do, I'm gonna go cast Exposition on Magnus. So, what is it? Like, as the watch is coming close to an end because of all the identifying and stuff, I'm gonna be sitting there with all the books in front of me, coursing over them. And immediately look up and over at Magnus, scratching their head. Magnus, can you get over here and help me out with this for a second?
He begrudgingly stands up and walks over.
Alright, so going through, you see that the books before Lunith, while I'm sure that they used to be about biography, they all have separate images over them, which look like different computations, arcane research. That I've been able to, what is it? What's the word I've heard? Anyway, but essentially, like, do the old tinker infused thing over, magical tinkering. I was running through the things. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this, and it's just something's not. Actually, I could use your help, Magnus. Tell me, you are privy to some interesting arcane ancient stuff that I can't even get to the bottom of. That ice thing you did out there, truly incredible. I don't think I've seen anyone do that before. But I find myself stumped here. You see, how much do you know about the fundamentals of the arcane?
Absolutely nothing.
Huh. Well then, I'll just give you the I'll go give you the Ted Riddleman talk then. You see, just this universe, it's founded on how do I put this? It's founded on the fundamentals of conservation of arcane energy and mass matter. Nothing can be created or destroyed. And literally speaking, whatever you do, it's looking around the table, like picking up a mug. You smell the either pleasant or very unpleasant aroma of black coffee. Picking it up, like the humble cup of coffee. Do you drink?
I'm not sure that's coffee.
Well, do you drink coffee?
Sometimes.
Of course you do. What's not to love, right? It's dark, bitter, and it keeps you up past 2 a.m. Holding up the mug to their face. See the resemblance?
Your point,
and maybe I should say the part where most people can't stand it unless it fundamentally changes. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that if you use energy to warm it up, the energy existed before, and if you don't drink it, it moves somewhere else. All of its ingredients were taken from somewhere, minerals which were eaten before by other people. And then you eat them, and you get the energy to smash someone with the head with an eldritch smite. What I'm trying to say is that you can't actually make up a cup of coffee. You transmute a cup of coffee. The important part here is that, for example, you and I, we're not capable of, well, me without my tools and you without your Patreon, your patron, incapable of controlling the arcane. In fact, for myself, without a tool, I can't even cast the Humble cantrip. I need a tool to cast every single one of my abilities. Meanwhile, others, for example, Paxson, their energy comes from themselves. You may believe, and Paxson, for all we know, may believe they come from Bahamut, but that is not the case. Paxson's abilities come from their belief in themselves, or perhaps their oath, something I'm actually quite interested in. If you were to alter their memory to change the oath fundamentally, would they still be able to because they still believe in it? For example, Maple believed lies of omission, or some lies were all right. But Paxson believes that you cannot ever. They're both powerful casters in their own right. Interesting. Anyway, but enough beating around the bush. The meat and potatoes, so to speak, of this is when I get down to it. Paxson makes his own energy. Serenity of the same root key, which naturally exists in all of us, she's able to channel, while we reach for magics and energies outside of ourselves to control. However, Marine and Robert have dedicated themselves to a specific study, however, as an offshoot. So because they haven't devoted themselves, they're not far enough in their studies to be able to cast in a way that you have, but they don't even need it, as Marine has developed an interesting way to bypass mental securities. You saw what she did before with the laughing spell, truly horrifying stuff. Regardless, it's a bit of the fundamentals of casting, much like energy and mass, is that it cannot be created. It doesn't simply come from nowhere. It requires an equivalent exchange of the arcane matter, either from the environment or ourselves. So that is why you get tired from casting spells.
You're talking, every spell has components, whether it's the verbal, the somatic, the material. Something has to go in so that something can come out.
Exactly. And you're able to produce such powerful magic because you're tapping into an ancient magic, and you control it through your willpower as opposed to knowledge alone, much like Paxson. But here's where the part that is simple stops. You see, and as he's talking, he's been changing the different books to have different images of the characters that he's speaking of, as well as them casting and the arcane science behind it. And then getting bound to, with right now both Marine and Robert over them, he changes Marine's to be Robert's mark. You surely must have noticed, haven't you?
Wait, Marine has a mark?
No, I got rid of Marine, so now it's just Robert and Robert's mark.
Okay, sorry.
You surely must have realized, haven't you? I didn't. You see, Robert's looking over his shoulder at Robert. Robert, I've been paying attention, more closely in the past when I was able to as he's been progressing. After all, when it comes to arcane science, we can all help each other. But there came to a point when it just doesn't quite make sense. In fact, there's what he's capable of now, with how far his studies have progressed. What he's doing now is a series of arcane improbabilities. I would say impossibilities, but you know that's... well, you've seen it. What he's capable of shouldn't be possible with how far he's progressed. And yet... well, I didn't call you over to debate what it means, as right now, after running through everything, I've been thinking for quite a while. I know what it must, but I'll speak no more of it. A conjecture is unbecoming of someone of science. But
So, I'm confused.
what I called you over for wasn't to help you make sense of this. I can try that. I have been trying that. What I'm calling you over for is something that I cannot do. Magnus, I need you to help him. I need you to talk to him. You see, he's been playing along quite nicely with us running after different markers here in the library. However, he hasn't focused on his yet. You see, if it is what it could be, after all, I did tell you that the giant marks have been known to have considerable power, but also can be worse than death. We need to get to the bottom of it as fast as possible. I strongly suggest that tomorrow you make a case for going after his mark as the next font of research. I need you to do this because think about it. If I would say it, you would come with two outcomes. The better outcome is I'm ignored entirely. Well, more properly, it would be some sort of petty remark and then they'd clap themselves on the back of how clever they were. Or they would be suspicious and less likely to want to pursue it. This could... Who knows what's going to come up with this Elder Brain speech, and with how many other marks we have, anything could happen. This journey is more arduous than we planned. We need to even get out for Marine's court date, so we are on a time limit. I don't want to take any chances. Tomorrow, Robert should pursue learning what his mark is. So, I don't care if you do it very directly. You walk up and say, hey, we should go for this one next. You give the illusion of a vote. Or you just act some sort of subtle way about it. Just find some way to help him before he... You see, I'm sure you've noticed, Robert is a bit of a turning point in his life at the moment. With this knowledge, hopefully he'll be able to better make a decision what he wants to be. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if you tell anyone about this, my next fireball will be more cost-effective than usual.
I don't know if that's supposed to be a threat of some kind, but I will
it's
remind...
not a threat, it's a promise, don't you worry.
No,
Jesus
I will remind
Christ,
you,
Luna.
Luna. Yeah, I will remind you that, in the span of 6 seconds... And he ruined it. Thanks, Etch. In the span of 6 seconds, I took down one of those great big tentacly beasts. You don't scare me, Luna.
I'm not trying to
That
scare
being
you, I'm
said-
asking for your help.
That being said, you do have a point. But I think you're a bit... I don't think you're giving Robert credit where it's due. I've seen him check his thing nearly every turn or every choice we've had to make. I'm sure he is putting weight to this. I
Well,
will.
of course, but he has too much weight on him at the moment. We should look out for him. He's been looking out for us. Robert is always one to look out for those around him at the cost of himself. He may continue to go after everyone else's markers before his own, but we don't know what's going to come up. I don't want to leave anything to chance.
Like I said, I'll pursue the issue.
You know, I have to say I'm thankful and somewhat pleasantly surprised that you even came over here to speak to me at all. Thank you.
You've
know,
done...
Magnus.
Yeah, no,
sorry.
you've done good these past couple of days. I don't know if it's another lie, a great trap you're setting, but you've saved Paxson at the very least over the last couple of days. I don't trust you, but I'm willing to hear you out.
And you're probably right to do that. If there was anything that you should trust that I told you, is that I said I will do whatever it takes to get what needs to be done. So, it's probably the safest way to see it. However, looking over at Paxson again, Jay chilling on the carpet, back to Magnus. However, you care for Paxson, right?
That is none of your business.
No. What I'm trying to say is that if I'd been just a few seconds late, if I just missed a shot, what would have happened to Paxson would have been irreversible. His intellect and his very being would have been consumed, and there's no arcane secret that could bring him back. Surely you must understand that. Well, if there was anything you could do to stop that, to bring him back, you would do whatever it takes, right?
He just raises an eyebrow at you.
Oh.
Well, I'm just coming to make sure that we are, I suppose you should be suspicious. I will stop at nothing to get what I need to happen. But do know that, because I'll stop at nothing, that even includes with associating and parting up with, you humans. But that's something I never planned to do. But due to the idiosyncrasies of humanity and even this party itself, in its entirety, it should turn out to be quite good fun. And I should just start speaking and wake up Robert for his watch. It's going to start soon.
I'll
Magnus.
be the one to waken. You should just bed down for the night.
Of course. As I get up and I start putting back getting ready to move the books back to the library, I stop in the door and say, "You've got a good heart, Magnus. Don't let them take it. I'm going to move."
Yeah, and as he walks over to Robert, he's just mumbling himself, "See, I would believe that if you didn't insult me like 5 different times in the last minute." And then he starts waking up Robert.
Robert, you come to consciousness as Magnus shakes you awake.
Hi, buddy. How was your dreams?
Good sleepy?
Yeah, Robert sort of gets up, he summons Diaz, and he sort of looks around, and he goes, oh, did Lunith finally leave?
He's stepping in the doorframe. Walking back into the doorframe, seeing that.
Oh.
He's.
Oof.
I think tonight's one of those nights where you should be in full armor, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, Magnus will help you put it on.
Thank you. Robert will put his armor on. Diaz will begin to patrol the room. Just flying around.
He stops back at you every few minutes for some nectar.
Yep.
Oh, such a good boy.
And yeah, so I'll take my watch with the assistance of my board.
Okay.
So, I should mention that over the course of the night, Robert's mostly watching, but he does just periodically, after everybody's sort of gone to sleep, he sort of like looks around. He goes and he opens up the book that he was looking at earlier with all the paintings on it, and he'll take out his book, and he'll look around again to see that everybody's asleep. Go ahead and open it up and write a few things in it, and begin to do a little bit of work, just sort of nothing too substantial, but he keeps an eye around.
Okay, roll an Arcana check.
Sure.
Robert, you make really good progress. You feel amazing about the revelations you have this evening.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Great. Awesome. Yeah, and towards the end of his watch, he'll quietly close the book, put it back in his pouch, and then he'll take his book, quietly close it, and put it on his belt, where it usually is. Yeah, and he'll set over to go wake Paxon. And he'll wake Paxon awake. Say, Paxon, time to...
Alright.
Nothing happened. Let me help you get your armor on. Yeah, so once the armor's on and once Robert's armor's off, he'll go back to sleep.
Okay. Paxon. Ariana awakens as you do.
Paxon spends the walk just kind of like walking around the place.
Okay. Are you assisting Ariana as usual?
Oh, of course. Of course. Kind of walking around hoping that Pegasus is paying attention. He'll visit the like wyvern room again and stare at them. Is there like food in the room?
The draconids in the room seem to be asleep right now. Make a perception or investigation check.
Nice.
You do see a small in the wall. There's a small kind of chute that has these like kind of fist-sized like brown balls in it, and there appears to be a little gear ticking next to it. It takes you a little bit to figure out what that does until you realize that maybe it's some kind of timed release mechanism for like feeding pellets of some kind.
That is fancy.
On the other wall, you see bowling ball-sized pellets, which you presume are the wyvern. There are currently 6 pellets loaded into the small one and 2 into the large one. Arion suddenly calls to you. Paxon,
Yeah?
we got a situation.
What's the situation?
Just get back here quickly. As you kind of dash back, you see Arion standing over where Magnus is sleeping, kind of curled up on the backside of the couch that Lunith is sleeping on. And you see Magnus is kind of sleeping peacefully for the most part. His right hand is kind of tensed up and curled towards his body, and you see it's holding the like kind of jagged edge of etch, and which is slowly starting to cut a gash into his side.
Ooh.
He'll grab his arm and like pull it away from him and try to shake him awake.
Okay, as you kind of grab his arm and shake it away, there's this kind of scary, unnatural strength holding the arm in place. Roll an athletics check.
It's okay, I'm good at this, right? Yeah.
You managed to
Take the arm off.
wrench his arm away, but his fist remains clenched around the hilt of Etch. And Magnus, you come to consciousness. And
What? Stands up immediately, starts moving. Are we
careful.
being attacked?
Easy.
What's going on?
You're bleeding.
You take a single point of piercing damage, Magnus, and you see that you're kind of bleeding down your side from where like a gash has been cut through your nightwear.
Ow! 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 Ooh!
What?
It stings.
What happened?
Quiet. My
I'm about
fellow
to get a
humans.
Boot to the face. What's Paxon's going on?
You were stabbing yourself. Bad
What?
dreams?
No. I must have just fallen on it or like slept on it wrong.
You did not
Oh, but
fall
didn't
on it,
wake me.
Magnus.
I walked into a door.
Can you ask Atch what was happening?
1 second. Hey.
You feel there's like the dormance from the blade. It takes like 30 or so seconds of you kind of thinking at it before the gem kind of only really perceptibly to Magnus flickers to a life that he can see in it. And you hear Etch's voice. Huh? What is it? What?
I'm bleeding and you're
Oh shit. That's not good.
it's
No, I mean, no. To be honest, I'm not 1,000% sure what that whole thing was going to insinuate. So, I mean, I didn't think that something like this would come up.
yeah, no, I must have just been sleeping deeply. Yeah, he addresses Paxon.
Well, maybe don't hold the sword next time. And I hope you're telling me everything. I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, no, this is kind of unexpected.
I would say so, yeah. Please don't sleep with the sword.
Okay, but only because you asked. No, he doesn't say that.
The only healing I have left is Turn the Tide, but Magnus is injured enough that he can get that healing.
Honestly, yeah. Alright, yeah, no, but come the morning, that should be mostly gone, so don't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
So Magnus will very pointedly stick Etch in his pocket and sleep on his other not wounded side.
Okay. Well, it heals pretty quickly after Paxon uses his magical effect, so it doesn't even really ache.
Paxon will stay in the room the rest of his watch.
Okay.
And try not to think about the amulet.
The more you try not to think about it, the more you feel like you're ignoring something you shouldn't be.
And the more you feel like you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll convince you. Don't worry.
And I think that's his watch.
Okay. Just
My
when
ring.
you're kind of running out of willpower to resist just doing something with the amulet, you realize that your watch has ended and you go to wake Marine.
Alright, so Marine is going to wait until everybody settles back to bed. And then go over here. And do a little poking around.
Oh, I was gonna say, Marine, do not open that chest.
No, she's just gonna investigate the outside at first.
Roll an investigation check.
When loot abounds, general's good. It's the only time. That and when she's creating mischief. Notice, she rolled a 20 to turn the carpet on, couldn't roll anything to turn it off, though.
I think I will.
Cause problems on purpose.
You find a small kind of secret compartment on the bottom of the desk. it is closed, and there's a small, almost imperceptible kind of like a reset button-esque hole that you can stick something into to get the compartment to open.
This is definitely magical, isn't it? Can I don't have detect magic. Can I, like, try to figure it out some other way?
Roll an Arcana check. Just based off of your lack of perception of much mechanical aspects to this, although you do gather that the secret little compartment there could be opened mechanically, perhaps, but it almost seems too easy. The way he was like, "Don't touch my desk," and then went into sleep in the other room and let you guys just kind of hang out here all night. You gather maybe there's some protection you're not able to perceive using your mechanical skills.
Yeah, that sounds like a trap to me.
Of course, you can't be sure that it's a trap, and curiosity burns.
Honestly, please, just go open the chest. Don't piss off this guy.
I'm gonna grab this book or actually, no, we were gonna wait until later.
Sorry, actually, Lunith grabbed that book.
Oh, he did. Okay, never mind. Yeah, there's nothing else interesting in here. All right, I'll actually do my watch.
Okay, roll a perception check.
Oh, Noreen, make sure Magnus doesn't stab himself while he's sleeping.
No big.
Wait, what?
Is what Paxton would have told you before he went to sleep.
Yeah, her response is, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, he was stabbing himself with Etch. Etch is probably evil.
That doesn't. Well, yeah, we already knew that.
Well, yeah, but like this is just good night.
Okay.
Marine, kind of 3/4 of the way through your watch, Magnus stands up.
Oh fuck. You good, buddy?
His eyes are kind of partially closed, like they're only very, very slightly open. And in the darkness, you can't really see much of his visage, but he doesn't look at you when you speak.
Where's the sword?
In his right hand.
Is he stabbing himself with it?
He is not. But he walks around Paxson and kind of starts walking towards the center of the room.
Where are you going?
This is fine. This is fine.
This is not fine.
Well, if he opens the secret compartment, I couldn't stop him.
He lifts up Etch, which is kind of carefully, gingerly wrapped in some cloth around the blade, and just kind of holds her up and just kind of stares down at the blade, unmoving.
Okay, that's
kind
not
of
the weirdest thing.
shuddering with his breaths.
Okay.
Just
bad dream?
Gilbert, I think he's still asleep. Pretty sure he's still asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sleepwalking? I don't know. As long as he's not, like, doing anything bad with it, I guess it's fine.
He stands there for about 10 minutes, and it starts to get actually, like, near-ish to time to wake people up. And right as you're kind of going to go about to do that, the slightly dimmed magical lights in the room all suddenly whiff out, and you're plunged into total darkness, and you hear footsteps in the dark.
Here we go again. What do I have? Oh, I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire on him.
On who?
On Magnus.
Magnus
So
suddenly lights up brilliantly. He's incapacitated, so I'm pretty sure he can't make dexterity saving throws.
Yeah.
As he walks over and kind of lays back down, he's a brilliant beacon, and Lunith and Paxson get a rude awakening.
Fuck!
Robert is fast asleep.
Good morning.
Enjoying the rest of his sleep.
What happened to the... What is... Magnus? Shakes Magnus. You're glowing!
Magnus, you wake up and find yourself glowing.
And you're the only source of
He
light.
was sleepwalking and all the
look,
lights went out. I had to keep track of him.
Did you
Marine.
cast fairy fire on me?
Marie, this is every night with you.
What? No, it's not.
Magnus, can you get the
I can
the light
immediately look
bulb
over at my
going?
boots. Where are they?
Black burned. Yes. Sorry. What was that? I
Can
was
you
talking to
turn
my
it
dad.
off? I'm a flashlight. We don't have flashlights in this universe. I'm a torch.
You're a drift globe. Can you get the
Can
drift
I
globe
turn it off?
going?
I think I can.
I'm sorry, Paxton, what?
Yeah,
Can
it's
you get the drift
concentration.
globe going?
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
The drift globe kind of floats up in the air as Magnus speaks its command word. Daylight
What?
fills the room.
Oh, come on!
Ah.
Good morning, Robert. That'll wake you up.
A boot comes flying over at you guys. Shut up! I'm sleeping! And Robert goes and
Immediately as I see the boot,
Evasion.
slow motion, I see the boot fly by and me, I'm like, oh fuck, what did she do to my boots tonight? This is all part of my plan. It's the light. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna trip over and eat floor. What is it? No, I'm missing something, right? Wait, no. My coin purse? Ah, it's still empty.
So you said he was sleepwalking?
Yeah. He was kind of just holding etch and...
with that, I guess let me
Not
complete a
doing-
long rest for you guys.
Thanks, I really appreciate it.
Magnus, you don't remember that, right?
No, by the very definition, sleepwalking, I wouldn't.
You're right.
Well, yeah.
My siblings have never told me that I walk at night.
Look, let's not answer on the issue. That's not sleepwalking.
Yeah,
Whatever
that
you
was
saw, it's not
definitely
sleepwalking.
something Etch did.
Well, what happened?
You
Well,
just
first
kind of
you-
stared at the sword for a while.
Tried to stab yourself.
You what? Hold on, can we just wind that back for just 1 second?
When on my watch, Etch was trying to stab you.
Oh.
She was... Alright, I'm gonna be honest here. I don't think she really knows. She was sleeping too when I woke up the first time, and I think she's still asleep now.
Then
Just kind of shakes the sword a little. Are you awake?
Then what's in
Could
charge
be.
here?
It could be Etch's subconscious, but it could also be something else.
Luna, can you detect magic on it?
I can detect magic. It's gonna take a little bit to get ready, but yeah, I'll start preparing just my stuff. As I start going, I immediately look back over at the coffee cup. By the way, I forgot to say that the coffee cup I was holding before was absolutely empty, and I just have an infusion to make it smell like it has coffee.
Wow, you have the weirdest goddamn infusions.
I need coffee. It's been so long. What's an awful villainous shapeshifter gotta do to get some fucking coffee right here?
You cast Identify, you said, or Detect Magic?
Detect magic.
As you cast Detect Magic, Etch is still obviously magical. And a large portion of her magical aura is also suffused around Magnus. But you can't really tell any more than that.
I forgot. By the way, this is I want to make sure I don't meta over here. Paxson, have you spoken to the party about the horrible shadow that's been following you and the compulsions you've been feeling recently?
Paxons?
I mean, I'm not asking Paxson the character. I'm asking you if you have said it out loud.
There's
Because it's brought up so often, I don't know if you
Wait, what
said
compulsions?
it. Never mind then. Well,
Cool.
guess we'll...
Good.
Nothing is sacred here. We'll have to switch everything one step at a time. Let's think. Let's think. What are some things that we have picked up recently while we're here? The skull. I'm gonna take a look at the skull. Does the skull what in Robert's bag? His costume. Robert, do you still have that horrible skull with the gold eyes?
I haven't touched
Boot narrowly
anything.
misses you.
Though. Robert, time to wake up. Come on.
You
No! I know I'm
what?
still supposed to be sleeping. 5 more minutes.
Wait, Marine.
Hmm? What?
What did he do with the tiara?
What?
What did he do with the tiara?
I don't know. He probably took it off.
Shit was cute as hell. He can't be throwing that across the room. He's gonna take an
Oh,
eye out. That shit's iron.
Wait, what was that first part?
You never wanted to be a princess? What the fuck is wrong with you?
No.
Come on.
What did you say?
What I said is I need the skull, Robert.
No. The first thing.
Gotta do everything myself around here. Sorry, fellow human coming through.
I don't think it's the skull.
He just called Robert cute again.
Did he? I didn't notice because I'm trying to help our friend not get stabbed in the night.
Immediately,
Alright,
Mr.
yeah.
Robert doesn't sleep on top of the bag, so the bag is near him.
George, can I make like a wisdom check for something Magnus might know? But I'm trying to figure out what's meta knowledge and what's not meta knowledge. And okay, so as character,
Is it character important? You don't have to say it out loud if you don't want to, but
I think I can be vague enough to talk. Well, obviously the thing that happened yesterday happened when Paxson lost his mind. And I know that was like a huge drain, so intuitively my first thing is, okay, so this is literally Etch starving again, replenishing wherever she can. And I don't know if Magnus pieces that together.
I mean, it's up to you, right? I think Magnus definitely could realize it. I don't think that that's unreasonable. You've had some experience with this. I'm sure Magnus spends a fair amount of time thinking about Etch and the things that he's experienced with Etch thus far. So
okay, then I'm gonna say yeah, it's within his realm of possibility. So then he approaches it in like the calming Paxson down matter. You know what? I think I know it might just be because of yesterday with the whole me visiting your attic, and he just points to his head. I think it might have just been a very big stress, and if the lights are out in the room, it means that she's probably just been eating again.
Look, let's not put just and soul suck in the same sentence here. Like, there's no just feasting on your soul.
Well, that's the thing. I think she's unconscious. Like, is sleep eating a thing?
Well, sleep stabbing is, so I guess.
What I'm trying to say is this might be just a one-time thing. So let's continue as normal. We'll set up precautions for tonight. We'll set up precautions.
Magnus, next time you turn in, we're busting out the rope.
What?
Okay.
I just don't want you gutting yourself. That's all.
Maybe just like
Just a watch might be enough.
Well, the watch didn't do it the last times.
Oh God, Edge, please.
What'd she say?
Nothing. She said nothing of importance and nothing that anyone needs to hear.
I can
I
definitely
wanna hear
guess. Oh, Paxson says, "I'm really sorry you had to do that. Especially if that's the cause of all this."
No, it's fine. I fucking hate this sword. Just kidding, I love her.
Shuffling back over in Marine.
Hmm?
Seeing them be like, no, it's fine. No, anything for you. Be like, now kiss.
Marine subtly fist bumps, Luneth.
My God,
Oh
the
my
first
God.
positive reinforcement in 15 years.
Right?
Hold on. What's going on?
Alright,
So,
feel
wait,
like-
Luneth, I believe you were getting the skull out of the bag of holding?
Yeah, so I reached over, grabbed it. Is there any magical effect from it?
As the skull comes up into your hand, you hear a whisper, just kind of in the back of, like, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and you just hear, "Take me back."
You know, I'll remind
Okay,
you, Luna.
I'll put you back in the bag. Let go.
I will
looks like
remind you, no one actually touched that yet. Good job.
Yeah, keep sleeping, Robert. We'll try to figure this out. Move back.
I don't know if there's anything we can do right now. guess we just have to keep going, right?
Look, I mean, the other things I can
Think
think
so.
about are, what else did we find in here? We found the armor in here, we found the amulet in here. This only started now from what we know of,
Good morning.
so...
Oh, good morning,
Good
Emma.
morning.
Hey.
Tries not to think about evil sword.
Oh god, can she read minds?
Dang, you
Is she
guys
that
look
far
super
along?
buff when you don't have armor on.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Most of
fellow
you.
human.
Wait.
Well, Lunas just looks like whatever he wants, so I was still picturing
That's
a
true.
scrawny man.
Okay, yeah. Fair.
I just picture like gray Miles.
Well,
Basically, yeah.
well, I mean, don't forget that absolutely when I'm here with you guys, I'm just another fellow human. Just a, yeah, it is me! Human Miles! Miles.
No, you're
It is
not.
I!
Lunas, if you ever look like Miles again, you are getting a sword to
No,
the
no,
throat.
don't worry, it is I, your good human friend, Lunith. Let us talk about human things, like spending money and starting wars.
That's not
Thanks,
exclusive
Rayla.
to humans, believe me.
Anyway, Emma, is it time to get moving?
Sometime today, probably. To be honest, she kind of leans in and whispers, "The master's really bad at packing.
Aww.
Mm.
He's not going to want to leave anything behind, but he's also, like, not that strong. And I'm not
Aw.
carrying anything."
You know, so why don't you tell me some stories? You've been here for a while, right? Why don't you tell me some stories about the things you've been practicing and such?
Okay, what do you want to hear about?
Alright, everyone,
He really threw his
interrogation time, come on.
Magnus was really able to put his own possession under the rug pretty quick there.
What?
No, it's just, yeah, so
No.
you were just, gutting yourself a while ago.
Magnus just looks angrily at Lunith. So, why don't you tell me, how'd you first meet, Phenom?
I was really lost down here, and I was, like, 95% sure he was going to try to eat me like most of the other things I saw.
Fair.
But then he just kind of didn't. And then the two of us got attacked by those, like, colorful bookworms, and he mind controlled them and made them our friends. So that was cool.
Oh wait, so did you guys meet the he called himself a beholder? Near that area?
Huh?
What was the guy's name with a lot of eyes? He said he was a beholder.
What? The gazer.
The geezer.
Vile.
I don't think I've met a gazer down here, but I know what one is.
Oh well, if you ever find a tree with a lot of books, he's right near there. Where the worms are, he's like right there.
Oh, the
Oh,
worms
well.
are all over the place. They're not just in one
Wait.
place in the library.
Well, at the very least, he was by the tree.
Oh,
Who
good
knows where he
point.
Well,
is
he didn't seem intent to leave.
No, but the
The room
library
could.
The
shifts.
library is.
Oh.
She kind of looks up and turns her head. Phenom says I have to go take a bath before we leave. So, I guess I'll be back.
I'm gonna go look at these books.
Yeah, actually,
Wait, you have a bath?
can we go through the index to try to find things that are important?
Marine, good job picking that out. Yeah, probably there's a bath somewhere.
Oh no! Oh, that was a mistake.
So what are you guys looking for?
Dragon.
We're here for dragons. So, what information did we want about dragons?
How to train your dragon, how to cure your dragon, how to make your dragon good.
Stories about dragons?
Every single dragon book.
Dragonology,
Just-
the study
We've
of
got a
dra-
bag of holding.
Sorry.
Just looking for the dragon section.
Okay, yeah, you guys just look for D in the index, and it lets you know that in the room with the 5 bookshelves, the bottom rightmost one is the dragon section, basically.
Let's go!
Onwards.
So you guys zoom across, I don't know, I guess you just start shoveling books into the bag of holding. Oh, you don't actually have the bag of holding.
Robert! Well, like, look over the titles. If
Yeah.
it just is like dragons, history. No, I'll take that one too. Like if it's. No, we
At
want
the
every
very
dragon
least,
book.
we could probably bring them back to the Church of Bahamut, right?
Yeah.
You find like 3 or 4 conflicting books that are a guide to like the physiology, like the internal physiology of a dragon. As you look through them, you realize they all kind of disagree heavily about where certain organs and things are actually located. And you realize as you're looking at the drawings that they may just have been looking at different like colors or like species. One of them is pretty clearly a picture of the wyvern in the other room, but it's definitely labeled red dragon.
Are
So-
there any that really stand out?
Roll an investigation check with advantage.
I can assist
more
you.
health? Yay!
As you guys are looking, it seems like there are like a lot of books of like conjecture. There are a few books of like draconic history, but rather inconveniently they're written actually Paxton reads draconic, so it's not that inconvenient.
Not that inconvenient.
Yeah, like 3 of us speak Draconic.
So yeah, I mean you find a few books. They seem dense, like you could peruse through them. You can add, I guess, 3 books to one of your inventories, whoever wants to carry them, that seem to be the most useful, and I'll tell you the titles, and you guys can just consult them for information with rolls whenever you need to get something on the general topic. The 3 most useful books you find are History of Dragons and Theories about Ancient History, as understood by the mortal humanoid person who wrote this book. There is also one on the general physiology of dragons that seems to be the thickest and also has a small like iron chain holding the book closed, so it looks like it's kind of more official than some of the other ones here. There was a listing in the index for a book on the lifespan and just kind of the properties of like the magical properties of a draconic body. That isn't on the shelves.
Yeah, I can guess who has it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we gotta ask him for that book. Don't let me forget.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he'll let us have it, or at the very least he'll let us transcribe a couple of pages while we're moving.
He better let us take it. He doesn't need it.
Wait, so what is in here?
Come
Oh
here.
my god, they're so cute! Are they cute? I don't actually know what a pseudo dragon looks like.
I'm sure they're adorable. They're just little tiny dragons. Alright. Obviously
I
we
will
can't let
go.
these guys stay here, but we should go talk to Phenom about them, I guess.
You know, I think this is his meal ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly, like, it kind of makes me sad, but this is the better thing for him to do. Like, I'm not about to take this guy's pseudo dragons if he needs them.
You don't think there's something better than little dragons?
Like I said, old people, hospice.
See, that's worse.
Robert,
Is it?
Phenom walks into the room behind you. What are you doing?
I'm considering doing something that would probably be considered by most sane people to be a bad idea.
Oh
God,
no, you're doing the thing.
Wait till Paxton gets over there, please.
Well,
yeah, we all saw this coming.
I'm not going to stop you.
Yes.
He pulls out a
What?
notebook and a quill.
Have you ever touched
Yes.
this?
I'm fairly certain I could destroy it. But, well,
Marine
Can't
just
learn much
watches.
from it then, huh?
to be honest, I found it in the library after I had already picked up Emma, and I'm less inclined to do things that could instantly kill me these days.
You're already dead.
Instantly reach.
Oh.
He's walking into the room, just over here with wearing the pants all fucking high. Just yar har har, you dead. God damn.
Marine, could you get Paxson? I'm gonna need Paxson.
Oh, God.
He's over
I
there.
gotta watch this.
What are you doing? Oh boy.
Oh, good. You're in 10 feet of me. Great. Robert attempts to open the box.
Okay. As you take the box out of its case, there appears to be a small magical latch on it. You can try to pull it apart with brute force. If you have thieves' tools, you could try that. Go ahead and roll an athletics check, I guess, since you're trying to pull it apart.
Wait. You're not gonna try to...
Whee! 14! It's not good.
Robert,
Mm.
you
Does
instantly
anybody have an
die.
inspiration, real quick? Does he really?
Yeah.
What?
Wait, what?
Oh
Did you
shit!
hear the music just boing?
Perfect. Robert fucking collapses.
Paxson! Paxson!
Move!
He's dead?
He's dead.
Move!
Yeah, looks like I gotta cast Revivify. Oh boy.
No, let Lunix do it. Let Lunix do it. This is gonna be great.
Oh my god.
No. It's fine,
not
I'll
even
just
do it.
cast it.
So you pull the gem out of your bag, and cast Revivify. Just holy energy glows around your hands as the gem disintegrates, and you basically rub your hands together. Zzz. And Robert, you feel yourself come back to life. You feel pretty awful.
You
Oh my
absolute
Are
fool.
you kidding me?
I'd say this was gonna be the death of you, but it already was!
Robert gets up. Oh, you're still here. Alright. Whatever's in there is gonna be really...
Oh, so you have I guess you return to life with 1 hit point. So that's what Revivify says.
Jeez, Robert. That's it.
You know,
Okay, so,
If you were
I
gonna
had
give it a
forgotten.
go, I'd help you.
I had forgotten I was gonna put like armor baskets on myself in case it did damage to me. Would have been useless.
Oh my
yeah.
god, Robert.
Robert goes and gets up. He's like, whatever's in there.
let's go again.
It's gonna be extremely powerful. Robert goes and rubs his
Robert.
hands and casts enlarge
Robert.
radius on himself.
I can't help
If
you
you're going
anymore.
to do it, I support you. Just let us help.
Robert,
Robert grows in
This is
size.
it.
Get out of the room.
I don't.
I immediately, as I'm running out, I'm gonna cast guidance. Robert. I can't move. I'm stuck.
Robert, I literally cannot help you. If you
Bro, you're
die,
getting squished
you're going
against
to
the
stay
wall.
dead.
Yep.
Robert goes and grabs
I'm
the
not
chest
moving.
and begins to rend it open.
Roll an athletics
What the
check.
fuck are you doing? You're gonna destroy it!
Hold on, you're getting guidance
that's
from
on the wrong
Luna.
person.
Robert now has
I'm
fucking
not guidance on myself.
enlarge reduced on himself, so he has advantage on the check.
Guys, I gotta learn Bardic Inspiration. We need it. We really need
I can't
it.
do anything either.
Is there
And
anything?
Robert goes to try and rend it
Let's see if
open.
this check actually works, by the way.
Athletics.
He's gonna die again.
Ah!
No, he's not. Maybe he is.
Better not.
Guidance.
Here's hoping a 15's enough.
Yeah, I don't.
Guidance. Let me get a die. D4.
Come on.
25.
25.
Surely.
The DC for this
Surely
is
it's
25.
Oh!
God, I was gonna say,
Oh
by the
my
way, I don't know
God.
if we have another fucking crystal.
We don't. We literally don't. No one else can die, or you're staying dead. This is it.
As you pry open the chest, Robert, do you have 100 or more hit points?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No.
You die.
Oh my god.
What?
No.
Robert dies.
That's a 9th level spell.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Hold on. Okay, I immediately am gonna look at Phenom. I need something. 300 GP now, quick!
I don't.
I
don't
can
know if we
still do it.
Come search with me. How much time do we have? He just kind of sprints into the back room.
I go help.
All right.
wait.
So what is this? Can I do an investigation check?
Yeah, you
or
can do an
something?
investigation check. Phenom is helping you.
I'm gonna guide. Okay, good. Thank you.
I can do a separate check in case you do bad.
Yeah, can I also help Magnus
Yeah,
search?
go ahead.
Alright, investigation you said?
Yep.
Advantage, where is it? No, I'm not helpful! Magnus is panicking!
He points to a crate.
Paxson panics with you.
In there. in that crate, and he kind of just twists his hand, and the crate just the wood splinters, and a couple of like just kind of valuable rocks roll out of a chest that's been popped on the inside, and he says, "That's your best bet."
Okay, and I'm gonna grab as many as I can.
Okay. While this is
I'm gonna beat feet over.
Yo,
while this
same.
is happening, is the chest movable? Like, can I pick it up and chuck it somewhere else, or hide it?
Do
at
not
least?
touch it. Do not touch
I mean,
it.
you could chuck it somewhere else. It's open now. Inside the do you want to know what's inside it? I mean, you did open it. I know Robert's
yeah.
dead. Inside the chest, if you take a glance, there it appears to be a rose and a piece of paper that has some text on it, and a large tome with pictures of muscular men and women flexing and taking shots on the cover.
Okay,
Oh
I'm
my
going
God.
to take them out with my mage hand and put them on the desk so he doesn't touch
So
the fucking
the
thing
good
again.
news, by the way, is Revivify doesn't just say a something worth; it's diamonds. So hopefully, even if
Nice.
one of them is
Oh,
a
yeah.
Oh,
GP, all of them together. So me, I'll do that. I'll do whatever preparation need to be done for the spell. I'm gonna be like, look, take whatever cost you need. Just bring him back. Come on, come on. I'm gonna see if it works.
There is an amount of diamonds that you guys have managed to dig out of the box of gems in front of you, Paxon. You don't really have a great amount of time to gauge the value.
I don't care if it takes off Marine's jewelry. Let's bring him back.
Are you doing this, Lyneth, or am I supposed to do it?
I grabbed the rocks from the other room, so I'm just gonna cast it.
Alright.
It's been cast out.
It's just barely enough diamonds. As the diamonds are disintegrated by the power of the spell, and Robert, for the second time today, brings himself back to life.
Okay.
Can I, like,
don't help me
tackle
grab
him?
As soon as he wakes up,
Like,
Don't help me
grapple him,
grab the fuck.
hold him
Robert's
back.
like scrappling. He's like delusional at this point. He's like scrappling right. He's like,
Stop,
If
stop,
you
Robert,
guys
please.
disadvantage.
I was gonna
We can
smack
still
him.
beat him.
I'm gonna kill you.
I forgot I gotta remove my spell slot.
Remove your everything.
Robert gets up. He's got one hit point again, and he's like, ah!
Guys, I'm 95% sure that stone slab above the chest said that the price would be horrible if you weren't able to open it. What after the first time someone instantly died after interacting with the chest would make you think that maybe you should touch it again?
Being Robert once
Flashback to
born.
Robert
fucking
would never
idiot.
claimed to be a particularly rational man.
What is it? Flashback
Robert
to
does
Magnus
not
being a
get
bit-
whatever is in this chest. He does not get it. We give it to Lee.
No, yeah.
Flashback to a few seconds ago. Sorry, to a few hours ago. My bad. Magnus, hey, I don't think you give Robert enough credit. He's always careful.
I did not say he was always careful. I said he's been looking at the thing.
He was looking at this thing too.
What's inside?
Okay.
What's inside?
Nothing. There was nothing
No.
inside. Go
I'm
away.
about-
Robert,
Knock you
don't
back
touch
the
it.
fuck
Don't
out.
touch any of it. Don't touch a single thing. Please.
Taking shots.
I really like the taking shots one.
The inscription, the legend lore on these painted PC go.
Just a normal rose.
The piece of paper, though.
Actually, wait.
It says
This don't
R.I.P.
know. Hold on. See, it's funny, right? With the cost so high, I knew that the reward needed to be so good. And let me just say, it's so good.
This isn't the reward. It's labeled death chest. This is if I died.
You did die.
Damn it!
Twice.
Robert slams his hand on the table and then dies because he only has one hit. Slams his hand on the table, and he's like, "I wasn't strong enough." Ah!
Robert, I swear to God, I will put you back in the ground. Stop moving!
If it makes you feel better, you were strong enough to open it, but just...
Robert, please, just
not much else.
can we go back to this other room, please? Just step away from that chest.
Is
Robert,
that headband on
the
right?
chest is still sitting open, right?
All
Yeah.
the stuff is
yeah.
on the table.
Yeah.
If
Robert
Robert
kinda like-
approaches it again,
Actually, the
there's going
chest
to be a
is
hole.
slowly. You hear a ticking from it as the box lid slowly starts to.
I took all the
Close.
stuff out.
Now, here's a question, George. When I
Am I
touched it
muted?
the first time, did it
you're
immediately?
not
You're
muted.
good.
Did it
Just
immediately?
make sure you're heard.
Did it
Yeah, I
immediately
took all
open
the
again?
stuff out.
Yeah, I know. When I touched it the first time, did something immediately happen, or was it when I tried to
It
open
was
it?
when you tried to open it.
Okay, noted.
The effect, it was basically like this. I didn't have time to describe it because I was too, like, I don't know.
Dumbstruck.
The idea that you guys actually. Okay. The fact that you tried to pry it open with your
not
hands
us
is what
guys,
really
just
got me.
him.
But you, it was basically like a flash of black, like a black light suddenly got turned on, and like it was like negative energy in the room, and then disappeared.
Okay, and that was upon touching it, or was
That was
upon
upon
trying to open it?
attempting to open it.
Okay, got it. So then Robert will, he'll abide his friends and he'll step out of the room.
I'm going to kill that man.
So yeah, with quiet clicks, the chest clicks itself closed again.
Alright, so now that the chest is empty, we're gonna destroy it, right?
I'm gonna
No.
grab the
Someone's
rose.
I
gonna
don't
be
think it is
stupid.
showing that.
No.
Whatever arcane was held on that is far too strong for us.
I know.
While everybody's distracted, I want to pocket the rose.
I could probably destroy it for you, says Phenom.
It's fine.
Well,
Don't.
Interesting. So it killed you?
Twice, Phenom.
Twice.
Twice.
Alright. Fair enough.
Yes, we travel with an idiot. It's you can say it. You can say it out loud, or in
We should just be
telepathy.
glad
I don't know
that
how that works.
we should just be glad that it didn't dust him or rip him to pieces.
Yes, lucky that it left your body intact.
Yes. Very lucky.
That's a curious looking object you found in there, though, he says, motioning to the tome. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the party inventory.
Thank.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're taking the 2 platinum pieces as well.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Robert earned it. One
Why
for every
not?
life.
No,
Your life is
it's
worth a
one
single
for each of his
platinum.
eyes.
Why would you try to open it a second time?
Because I knew you would save me. You brought me back once. What was going to stop you from doing it a second time?
Look,
The
Robert,
material
I'm telling you,
cost.
look.
Well, you
He's-
clearly had it. You brought me back, didn't you?
Yeah, but
Besides, how
now
many
we
more
don't
of
have
those
any
have you got?
more.
No, Robert. You have to thank Phenom here because he's the one who
Oh, you should
gave
take that
us the
350
gem.
timed out of your inventory.
we
did.
couldn't
We
bring you
did
back.
not have it.
What do you mean you couldn't bring me back?
We couldn't. Thankfully, he was.
Wait, am I
You're
undead now?
undead now. Yes.
Look, here's the thing, Robert. This may come to surprises to you, but I agree with opening that. I was on the same page as you, but you just need to think sometimes before you do these. We could have tried to help or something.
I thought
don't
I'd
have
have
to
to
do
a whole
everything alone.
day.
Look, I just...
Besides, why are you talking to me? Stop talking to me. Anyway, the box is safe to handle. It's just don't try to open it, otherwise bad things start happening. So.
We're
Yo,
about
you ever
put
just want to
in a
cast like
punishment
compulsion?
corner.
You ever just want to like cast compulsion on someone or like
Yes.
command on them and then
Right
say,
now.
"Open the box."
Jesus.
Magnus, remind me exactly what the stone said, by the way. Not the part about the horrible things will happen to you. I think we understand exactly what kind of horrible things will happen to you.
Found when the dwarves of the Undermountain made an expedition to another place, this chest can only be opened by the hardiest of creatures. It is said to contain a great treasure for everyone that proves able to open it, and a harsh punishment for those unworthy that try. You're not a dwarf, Robert. This was built by dwarves to be opened by dwarves. You're not a dwarf.
Right. Alright. Robert goes back in.
Oh God, no.
What are
As he
you
goes and takes a
doing?
step, Dewey like stumbles. And he's like, could I get a little bit of healing, please?
I don't
Don't-
think
It's
I
not
woke
gonna
up.
Don't
help
do
you
it.
if you touch that box
No,
again.
this isn't a dream.
It's fine
It's
if
a
you touch
nightmare.
it. Nothing happened when I touched it. It was when I tried to
Paxson,
open
don't
it.
do it. He won't learn.
Will Robert resist if Paxson like tries to grab his arm and pull him away?
Robert's in no place to resist very much at the moment.
Alright, he's gonna try to like gently guide him back into the other room.
I'm just gonna put it in the bag. I'm not gonna try to open it. I know the rules now, though. I know how.
I know the rules now.
Yes, we're not strong enough yet, but one day, and that day may be relatively soon. It's just a matter of exactly how soon.
You
Headband.
already opened it. There's nothing left.
Okay, don't.
The headband must be
No,
on too tight.
no,
No,
you don't
the
understand.
arcane must have run out.
Just drop it into the bag.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Robert will go and sweep it into the bag.
Make an Arcana check.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh my
wait.
god.
Oh shit.
That's a
Don't
really
tell me
bad
that.
idea.
Oh my god.
Okay. Robert will stop his hand there, and he'll go. Now, is specifically touching it a bad idea,
As
or
you
putting it in
push
the
the chest,
In the bag of
you
holding.
hear something move inside of it.
It's a separate dimension. Don't
Yup.
put a dimension inside a dimension. That's bad.
Right.
Wait,
Okay.
wait. Hold on. No. By God, no. Don't tell me that there's something inside of it now.
There's something inside
Something
of it
for
now.
everyone
This
who
is
can
what I'm
open it.
saying. As soon as if you open it and you were worthy, then there's something good in it. Otherwise, it's just a gimmick. It's a joke. That's why it says it's like, haha, you died, because dwarves
No.
think they're fucking funny and they're not.
You saw the book, right?
What? Oh yeah, this one.
That doesn't strike me as a joke.
Well, it was weird. I figured it was some kind of joke, but Robert starts flipping through it.
It seems to be full of guides on kind of, ways to eat healthy, bathe regularly, and generally keep your muscular body pristine and
my
beautiful in a way that will just keep you healthier.
Who's the author?
Help
Who
you
wrote
drink
this?
more.
Yeah, help you drink more.
There is an author's credit on the
Arnold
inside
Schwarzenegger.
Of the front cover. It's just credited to someone named Chad.
Oh my god.
Pretty badass.
Quit.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even get this joke. The other two jokes I get, but okay. So Robert will then instead go and put that in. He'll take his old backpack out of the bag of holding, put that on, and put it in the backpack instead.
Robert, do not bring the death chest with us.
We can't.
No, he's putting it in his. Oh no, are you talking about the tome?
What?
Robert,
Oh, the tome?
What are you putting in your backpack?
The chest.
Yeah, no, do not
On
take
the
that
day
with
that
you.
we're strong enough, we need to open this chest.
Robert, moving the chest and putting it in the bag may be an awful idea.
No, he's putting it
I'm
in
not
his
putting it in
backpack.
the bag of holding. I'm putting it in my backpack instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, you're right. I got a sense that when I was pulling it over that it might have some sort of extra dimensional space in it, so or something.
Well,
better not
Good
mix.
thing
Robert,
you realize that then.
can I propose something to you?
What?
You're proposing.
That in fact you did technically already pass it. It had no way of knowing if you would live or die after it opened, so the fact that we were able to revivify you, that is the prize. That's all you get, a book telling you how to live healthier.
Okay, wild question, boys. Am I getting an idea that this book may be immensely magical?
No, I don't.
I don't know. I don't think Chad wrote the manual for strength.
I lost where it was, but I remember it was described as being crafted from the most exquisite and finest of element. And I'm like, that's the magic paper stuff.
Go ahead and
Yeah.
roll an Arachna check.
That upsets me.
It
Jordan.
took me a little bit too. And I'm like, oh, arachna check.
Hang
That's
on. a
animal
minute.
handling.
That's
yeah?
not real.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking magical.
In fact, it reminds me of
Yeah.
a book in particular.
Yeah, it reminds you of a book you already read.
It reminds me of a book which I'm sorry.
What book?
I don't know. I just feel like this may be one of those very good to read books with permanent lifelong benefits.
Robert sort of squints at him, and he's like,
That headband is not working.
okay. What makes you think that? Is it magical? I mean,
Well,
it's made of the right material, but I figured that's just because it's coming from magical
I
thing.
remember its description reminded me strikingly so of the book which we had encountered earlier in the Eye of the Storm.
Mm.
I mean, I'm no pro, I can identify this, but it is what I suspect it to be so.
All right.
But-
That's promising. You want to take some time with it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that. Just make sure you keep it cool. Don't beat yourself up. You open this, right? I'll just take this.
All right.
Those fucking idiots! It's all mine.
Wait, what did he take?
The book.
Okay. Robert, you can go ahead and add the death chest to your inventory.
Okay.
Chest, dude. I'm pretty sure that just cast power word kill on you.
It definitely
Twice.
Did.
exactly what that
It doesn't get higher level than that. You know.
Alright, well, Robert, if you're done dying, we've got some packing to do. We've got the books we needed that we came for.
Yes, I'm going to go sit down.
Don't stand back.
If anybody wished to help me at all, that would be great. Otherwise, I'm drinking this potion.
I can help you.
Thank you.
Alright, so we're gonna start packing and raiding and all that shit. Phenom, hey, buddy. You know that book that you had
You should get 40
borrowed where
health.
it's like dragon
Thank you.
longevity? Are you done with that?
What?
We were going through the index and it was there's a book that's about like the dragon lifespan and longevity and life something of the like, and it's missing. We assumed that you had it.
Oh, I think Emma may actually have been reading that. I have some of my own notes appended to it, but I moved on from it recently. It's probably in her room.
It would mean a lot to us if we could take it with us.
Yeah, so when you say move on, you mean to the, like, pseudo-dragon and wyvern in the back room, or...?
No, I mean I memorized what was in the book, so then I didn't need it anymore.
Oh, okay, and then those are just, like, your pets in the back?
Oh, I use them for research.
Why dragons? You know, like, it doesn't have to be dragons.
They're incredibly long-lived.
Just, like, a rat every 2 years isn't good enough for you? Eating... I wish I only had to eat every 2 years. You know how much time I would save?
Got a point.
I hadn't
Not to
considered
mention
just
the moral
keeping a
implications
small
of evil.
creature. Suppose I were to be separated from my rat when it was at the ripe old age of 2, or it died on a day that I didn't expect, and then I had to... I mean... It just seems better to use a longer-lived creature than a rat. Anyway,
I can't
I
help
haven't
but ask.
consumed any of those creatures that I keep in the cage. Those are purely for my research.
I must ask though, have you perhaps thought of the possibility of homunculi?
I have, yes. Unfortunately, they're created with my life force, so I can't use them to multiply it.
That's
But if another were to make a homunculus for you, they recover from what they place in. Would they, if you would consume it?
Perhaps. Although then I would have to deal with having somebody put their life and energy into a being and then allow me to sacrifice it for my own longevity.
Which is so much worse than just, you know, taking something's life.
Well, seeing as I am an undead version of a creature that your people already find to be revolting, I didn't imagine very many people would consent to such an arrangement. Especially not powerful casters that could create homunculi.
He's got a point.
Of course. I'm just, just laying out some ideas. Anything's possible. I'm gonna keep identifying.
Alright, well this is awkward. Let's start packing.
Yeah.
Robert's not moving. He's just sitting in one place, like, contemplating.
Well, I'm going to get ready to go. I need to choose what is essential and what I can leave. Actually, first things first, I should probably take care of the animals. Thank you for reminding me, Mr. Paxson.
Oh, wait.
Are they coming with us?
And he leaves the room.
If he has a lab, then he must have many alchemical. I wonder if he needs. We should ask him.
So, should we let that thing walk out of here or not?
What basis would you kill him?
It's not.
Paxson, the way I'm looking at it is everyone has to eat to live. This guy, so far, what he's eaten has been 3 other, what are they called?
Mind flares?
3 other mind flayers. And he has plans to, like, you heard his objection to eating a piece of a person's soul.
He eats more morally than most carnivores do.
That's the way I'm viewing it, at least.
It just seems very wrong. But Robert's injured himself and we have things to do.
Hey guys.
Hey, you must be hearing a lot of someone's a complete tool. I mean, fool.
Still just kind of standing around?
Well, yeah, we're gonna get packing soon, but, Phenom said he had to feed the animals first, and I doubt he'd want us to start going through things without being there to
Oh,
pick
was
what
it
he...
the animals he was feeding?
Oh,
Yes.
I'm gonna go help.
They're definitely the ones getting food?
Yes. I'm 90% sure.
Alright, so.
I mean, he did flat out say, oh no, those ones aren't for consumption, they're for research, so I'm assuming that he's going to pack them up and bring them with us, maybe?
What is it? So, George.
Yeah?
With the completion of identifying, what would this book be?
It's identified. It is in fact a manual of bodily health. It contains health and diet tips, and its words are charged with magic. If you spend 48 hours over a period of 6 days or fewer studying the book's contents and practicing its guidelines, your constitution score increases by 2, as does your maximum for that score. The manual then loses its magic, but regains it in a century.
Holy shit.
This is it.
Nice.
You know,
And we gave
could
this
just
shit
tell
to
him.
Lunith?
I could just tell him it just, disappeared. No. This is a test. They'll kill me. No.
You're within 10 feet of Paxson. He can probably hear you.
Just mumbling out loud. No. They're incapable of forethought. Never were. Yeah, and Robert was the one who gave it to me. He proved that himself. No.
Hey, so what is he doing in the
What you
back
talking
room?
to yourself about?
It's
Hey, what's going on in here?
holds the book back in towards Robert.
Mhm.
I don't think.
What? No, don't give it to him.
Nope. With what this book is, he'll probably get more use if he uses it.
I'm pretty sure I know what it is. Give it to Paxson. Robert doesn't deserve it.
Excuse me. Robert gets up and he walks over to Marine. It's like, what did you say?
You made us revive you twice and didn't listen to us when we said not to open the fucking chest.
Yes. And what has occurred? We're down
You
600
died
gold,
twice.
and we got one of the most. What is it?
Yeah, so it is exactly like the book that I read before. This will cause a permanent increase to one's health, increasing even your maximum possible.
Yes. Now, I wasn't going to just take it all for my own anyway. I would be more than happy to give it to somebody who needs it more. But see, that's the difference between you and me, isn't it,
Oh.
Marine?
Wait, no, let's
Shut
not
the
go there.
fuck up! I don't want to hear a damn
Robert.
thing from you, otherwise I'll take this jar and shove it down your throat.
Robert, please.
Marine, don't ever tell me.
What?
Don't ever talk about doing anything selfish. Alright? Turn a blind eye to a lot of your tendencies. And if you're not careful, we might stop doing that. Robert goes and takes a little rag that he was using to clean some blood away from his mouth. He just throws it on the ground. He's, let's get our things together and get out of here. Robert turns around. Begins to get his things together.
Paxson awkwardly walks away and picks up his stuff.
Alright, I assume... Or I'm just gonna whisper this to Lunith, because nobody else is gonna be able to hear it, and...
I thought not.
Well, what are you... well, what are you planning to do then?
My first thought was to release them. Into the library. But Emma says that they are sure to die, which is likely, but there are many things that survive in the library, improbably.
Humans, right?
That's how you came to me, after all, my apprentice. And she kind of pouts and is like, I can't believe you would just do this. You're being really heartless right now.
Are you not going to take any of them?
Phenom says, perhaps the pseudo-dragons, they are fairly easily provisioned for, but the wyvern, Emma, is ridiculous. It eats like 40 pounds a day. They kind of continue to have this back and forth argument. She's like,
we might be able to bring... Okay, I'm gonna be honest, the wyvern, we should probably talk to Paxson, but we could probably bring at least some of them to the surface.
the two of them look at you.
I mean, Emma, obviously, but Phenom, have you been to the surface? There's an entire college, for lack of a better term, that's focused on magic studies. I could find a place to house a couple of... And once again, we should probably ask about the wyvern first. I don't know the first thing about those.
Yes, the wyvern is the big problem.
Trying to think what else.
I have not been to the surface myself, but my understanding is that the individuals up there take anything that comes out of the library and poke it with a stick until it dies or gives them treasure. So you'll have to pardon my reluctance to give up our Emma's beloved pets for that fate.
But if the alternative is just to release them... Because I will confide in you, Phenom. Part of the reason why Paxson is such a lenient, I will call it, is because one of the first true trials I've seen him face was when we were placed in front of a... The story is much too long to tell and a bit complicated to get into at the moment, but it is a dragon that is still traveling with us to this day. We thought it best, not knowing what kind of food would be down here, to leave her to the surface while we were traveling. Well, while we were exploring. But we brought her to the college before, and they gave her once over. They did not assault her, molest her, whatever have you. I can promise I'll vouch for them when we get up, and I'll make sure that they don't end up in a cage. But that is ultimately your decision.
And you'd be willing to take responsibility for the little monsters? You know, they look cute when they're on the other side of a set of bars, but they can be little gremlins.
Yeah, those tails don't look too inviting. Well, ideally I'd like to talk to the rest of the party, but I can't imagine any of them would have trouble bringing them back with us. Especially Paxson.
And then it's only Deborah we need to find a new home for.
Deborah.
God, the wireless name
Oh,
Deborah.
like like mind flayers think of like human names. It's, oh my god, that's so cute. It's Karen.
Are we adopting another dragon?
Oh no, we're dropping this thing off at like probably the Church of Bahamut. We cannot afford more parts.
Yeah, Robert's not there. He's also pouty and mad, but he would be like, nah. Nah.
Go discuss with your party members. I think Emma just kind of nods, and he waves his hand, and the kind of the bar that separates the wyvern and the pseudo dragons from the from the outside kind of slides into the wall, and Emma starts to walk up, and the wyvern gets up and starts to snarl at her, but she just kind of extends a hand, and this kind of purple haze appears over the wyvern's head momentarily, and then it becomes docile as she walks into the cage.
Yeah, I'll go discuss.
You just hear her saying, "Oh, Deborah," as you guys leave.
Alright, Magnus walks into the room. So, guys, how would you feel about running a little transport?
Yeah, as I'm walking away back towards the back room, but then stopping. Wait, transport.
Yeah, I don't know if you were all informed. In the back room, there's like a wyvern and a couple of pseudo dragons that they were keeping around for
Like
research.
Selena?
Huh?
No, not like Kiselina. Like, I don't know. I've seen them in picture books, but not really much else.
Wait, so you said it was a wyvern and a pseudo dragon? You said.
A couple pseudo dragons.
So what's their plan with them? They can't be taking those with them, but
Yeah, no, the initial plan was just to release them into the library, but Emma's not very happy
that's a death
about that.
sentence.
Yeah. So I said I would discuss it with everyone here, but we could literally transport them back with us to the...
And where would we put them?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where the wyvern would fit into things, but I'm sure at the Church of Bahamut they would accommodate a few pseudo-dragons.
And aside from that, there'd be plenty of buyers. Pseudo dragons are very helpful to those who study the arcane.
Yes, but I do promise that they will not end up in a cage as a test subject for someone.
That's what I was going to say. In Elogia, their fate could be unsavory. I'm not against the idea of moving it. There's obvious benefit in it for us. However, well, we've still got more to do. Just thinking of the logistics, we could have them flying around with us, but may just scatter and go about their merry ways. Arion could keep an eye on them, but when he's a valiant steed in combat, he can't quite well enough do that.
Wyverns aren't exactly the most intelligent. I feel like it's just an animal.
Yes.
But like, as in, we can't control it or reason with it.
Paxson, you studied these, right? Do you know if the followers of Bahamut would support having such creatures, or are they false dragons that's not worth?
I mean, wyvern riders are not unheard of. They're like very difficult to train as mounts, similar to griffins, but often like royal guards of various places may have 1 or 2 wyvern riders or griffin riders or something like that. So it could be valued as a mount if it wasn't already grown up and distinctly not mount trained. I don't know. You could maybe find it a home if we're talking about the wyvern. The followers of Bahamut aren't explicitly against wyverns, but for the most part, they're like animals. If one that isn't being kept by a person was just let loose in a human settlement, it would probably wreak chaos. You know.
How
What
could
about
we
the
even bring it up
pseudo-dragons?
the front
Because
doors?
I will say I didn't promise that we'd bring up the wyvern, but the pseudo-dragons, I figured.
Yeah, they're small and easy. Right?
How
And
does
if
the
they
Church
stick
of
you,
Bahamut feel about
Poland guy.
pseudo-dragons?
I don't see why they wouldn't want them around.
Can we tell them that they're baby dragons?
He's an actual dragon. I'm sure he knows what dragons look like.
He's an actual dragon?
Wait, what?
Is there anyone who didn't know that at this point?
I don't remember.
Well,
He
he
had a
didn't
grip
hide
like
them.
an actual dragon.
Alright, so come on, give me definite answers. Are we taking up the pseudo-dragons?
We should definitely
Are
take
we
the
pushing
pseudo
them
dragons.
Can he take any of them, or does he need to get rid of all of them?
off?
I know there was some food left over in there, but we'd have to share that.
You know, it's the whole feeding the wyvern that's the problem.
I don't think we can take the wyvern.
I don't think
The
so
wyvern's
either.
the problem.
It's not
The
feasible.
dragons we can supplement, but
Well, what do they feed them down here?
Those giant pellets.
the leader they die, simple as that.
Alright, so pseudo-dragons, yes. Wyvern, no.
I don't think we can take the wyvern.
Unless it takes a liking to one of us, I don't
Yeah.
see it.
Getting the wyvern out of here would be especially difficult once we get to the heathers at the
Oh,
door.
yeah.
The only way
Well, they
I
let
can
us
see
take
getting through
Keith
is reducing it down, but then it would be medium. It'd still be bigger than us, even if I reduce it. We could try handling some of the pseudo-dragons, but we need to make sure that they're properly secured. If they run around and then one of them gets their stinger into us, we could be asleep for quite
Mhm.
I'm sure they've got some kind of, like, portable cage we could carry.
We can try that. At the very least, he'll earn us either praise from the church or monetary reward. Releasing them feels a little strange, but I think we can get away with it, as long as it's not the wyvern.
Mm-hmm.
So then, Phenom says as he floats into the room, announcing mentally to you all that he has arrived. Do you have everything you
No.
need?
Oh, we didn't search
Uh,
anything. Did we pack it all? Did we do anything?
Well, we still have everything that we brought in. That was ours.
well, yeah,
I-
but did we search other than the diamonds?
Phenom. Robert never got the chance, but may I speak for him when I must thank you, for providing us what we needed for the revival. Is there anything that perhaps we can give you to make this exchange equivalent?
God damn
Got
it.
Magnus just hangs his head.
You could give me your mind and your lifespan. No, but seriously, I'm really grateful to you guys for helping out with that invasion, so let's call it even.
Of course.
It's a mind flayer joke.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was picking up on that. Of course.
Alright.
Except I guess it's not really that much of a joke when most other mind flayers say it.
Yeah, I guess most other mind
yeah.
players just do it.
Anyway, he walks up
joke?
to the desk
Yes.
and kind of waves his hand over it, and you guys hear several clicks. And a compartment opens from the bottom. He pulls kind of a silvery-looking amulet type thing, which he tucks into his robes. And then he starts to gather some other papers and also put them away into various little pouches that he has on his person.
Did you take everything we needed out of the back room?
Yes, I think for the most part, the rest of it is things I can't transport, so they will have to stay here.
Alright, raid time. Let's go.
Woo!
Raid Shadow Legend, but dude, we gotta get our video sponsored. Every now and then I
Oh
remember
my
that this is a
God,
video and I just start being
please no.
horrified. But what is it? Where was I? You said you had a lab. Were you able to pack all the alchemical supplies, or?
I took what I needed.
All right. I can't quite let them go to waste.
Oh,
You say
and
that not so
Phenom,
sinisterly?
regarding the situation we're talking about, we do think we'll be able to transport the pseudo dragon. And think we have the resources to transport the wyvern.
Reaching and showing some of the rations that we carry on us. Do you think that they would eat these? Obviously, I'm sure it's not the best food for them, but we have some dried meats.
Oh, they'll eat almost any meat.
Oh,
So if we kill something, we can just let them loose?
They're not terribly picky. But if you let them get too much of a taste for your fingers, they won't stop nipping. I had to erase that memory from them because they just wouldn't stop.
Oh. Okay, duly noted.
Yo, I'm sure Etch is in my mind saying, yo, same. We gotta pack up the pseudo dragon.
let's try and spin.
We gotta get the book. And is there anything else anyone wants to do before we leave?
I think I'll check these back.
Kill him? I mean, what?
Is this racist?
No!
We're saving dragons, it's fine.
Yeah, I guess we'll just give the place a once-over.
I mean, hey,
Okay.
if you can get over the fact that he may just be keeping Emma around so then he can eat her later. I mean, like, he's a perfectly stand-up
Possible.
The
But,
back
like,
room,
he's-
go ahead and roll an investigation check in the back room, and I'll reveal it since you guys are searching through it
Okay.
now.
Wow, that was...
Can I look for
great.
something specific?
That was pretty bad.
What are you looking for, Tina?
A fucking focus for the goddamn shrine.
Oh, we got a bathtub.
Roll
So,
an investigation
ooh.
check. So most of it is exhibits, various skulls and books and stuff. You find sitting on the nightstand by Emma's bed a book with a golden dragon drawn on it, and
Yeah, we're gonna switch that.
Yeah, we're
it
gonna...
appears to have been the book you were searching for, abandoned in the rush and excitement of packing.
What is the book called?
Oh, it actually doesn't have a title. Most of this
Golden
book
Dragon.
seems to have been written by Phenom.
Oh.
Huh.
So I'm just gonna call it Phenom's account of dragons.
Sure. So this is what you find in the back room.
We drinking good tonight, boys?
Potions!
Only
Woo!
potions. God damn
Any
it.
more
Find some
time?
well-preserved potions,
Jellyfish.
a bunch of like large skulls and kind of little models of various things. There's like a model of a Tarrasque with a little blurb of the horrifying creature that slumbers who knows where. Just various blurbs and bits of... It's a museum. This is the back warehouse part of a museum. It's been converted into a bedroom for a small girl. So you see exhibits packed away.
At the very least, that's a lot of money.
The only usable things are some money you find, and some potions.
Oh, damn it! God damn it!
Hey, again, by principle, I'm averse to taste testing potions. So, Magnus, if you if you're up for good, I mean, I just seen it's got a blue jellyfish, and I don't want to be looking at jellyfish with goo eyes.
Hey, Phenom, you got like a miniature cage to transport them?
Mind control.
About a beat feet.
Ah,
What?
mind control was his answer.
Huh.
It's the answer to most of life's problems.
Hold up, what?
No,
nuts.
no, I get that.
Think about it.
I get that.
I don't like that.
Somebody
Do
trying
not-
to kill you? Mind control. Somebody doing what you don't want them to do? Mind control.
No.
I'm really curious as to if Etch has like talked to him at all. I really hope.
Etch seems to be really quiet and clammed up basically whenever Phenom was in the room. Also, Emma starts talking to you guys about how great mind control is.
Oh my god, no.
Have you heard the good word of mind
Emma,
control?
are you sure you don't want to go
Hey,
back to the
look.
surface? Is there any way we could like fashion a cage or a leash for the pseudo dragons?
Dear?
Just, you know what? There's not even really a chance of failure. You take a few minutes to make some makeshift cages. There's 3 pseudo dragons. Are you taking all of them?
I guess.
They'll fight.
Yeah?
The strongest one gets out of here alive. No, we're not doing that, by the way. You may actually think I'm thinking about that. I'm not going to do that.
Can we?
Yeah, so
Okay, so they're in cages. Can we hook them? Oh no, hooking them up on Arion is a bad idea.
As we go to do that, oh, we'll just throw them in the bag.
No.
No. We'll revive them when we get out. What was I gonna say?
I'm sorry if I like derailed everything by pursuing this.
It is a moral quandary.
I put it
we
here.
need to stop and think about it. When we went to go pick up the wyverns, how many supplies were around? Anything I can make a potion out of in the distant future?
Roll an investigation check.
Not near distant. Yo, good.
Add those to your inventory, Robert. Yeah, I mean, go ahead. I guess roll an alchemist tools check if you have some alchemist tools on hand.
Ding 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 ding. We cooking, boys.
So then, what was next? We were gonna start walking out with Phenom and Emma, but we destination.
God, we need to decide where to go, but we have to get the whole crew together. Robert's trying on the snow slippers, so someone who he may actually want to look at should probably go get him. So walking. Oh, is everyone here for where we're going to go next?
I
Robert,
want to play with
come-
the playful pseudo dragon.
Oh yeah, no, you bet your ass I'm gonna be cuddling with the cuddly one all night.
Yeah, as I walk in, I'm gonna look directly at Magnus this time and say, "Yeah, Robert didn't come back yet, did he?"
No, Robert.
He's like 5 rooms away. You probably want to go over there. And as I walk by, I'm Magnus. Remember what I said about the turning point?
Okay, come on, Robert. We're doing things, deciding things. Come on over. Come on down.
You come up to the doorway and you just see Robert sort of like lean down over the boat, just running his hand along the edge of the boat. Magnus, there's a lot of things, and he goes and he stands up fully, that I want to be, that I just can't be. And he'll go and he'll walk past Magnus towards the rest of the party.
Is this about the chest?
Obviously.
Sure.
Fuck! I should have said Pax on. What was I thinking?
Magnus catches up with Robert and he's like, Robert, I know we're not always one to confide in one another, but if there is something that you need help, I will do my utmost to help you.
I'm afraid where we're going, we're gonna need all the help we can get anyway. So, let's see. Where is everybody?
Hey, and
What?
if you've ever got to work out, welcome to the. I'm sorry, I'm getting tired. Thoughts aren't.
No, you're not getting tired. You're getting PC'd. Like, damn, you were trying to say words, but Discord's like, look at this fool trying to speak.
Robert, is just standing there with his arms crossed with all his gear packed.
So we did everything we need to do here. Where are we going next? Question. We have 3. He kind of looks over at Robert. 3, yes? You didn't tell us what your indexer was, but
Yes,
I know you
yeah.
grabbed one.
Yeah, it's to do with me. I thought it might be here, honestly, but it's not.
Well, what's the topic? It might be near. Okay,
Giant
nearby
mark.
is a relative.
It's the giant mark.
The giant mark. Oh, well, we also have an indexer for the dragon mark.
Might
Chances
be in
are
the same
they're
place.
yeah, close to one another. So do you want to pursue that one next?
Sure.
Alright, any objections?
You guys hear them talking out there, right?
Oh, I assumed that we were with everyone.
No, I'm not teasing. I'm teasing. Yeah, no, it's kind of what is it? I was just fucking around.
Alright, so giant mark next, yes?
I'm happy with that.
Doesn't matter to me, but if you say so.
Magnus just rolls his eyes.
Audible eye rolling.
No, we're gonna get them all anyway. Might as well.
Alright. Are we escorting? Oh. Alright, so we got the 3 pseudo dragons, we got the books, we raided, we're good, we're set.
Yeah, as you guys pack the pseudo dragons into their cages and kind of attach them to your packs so that they kind of swing around their carriers as you go, and you like kind of take the bits of food that are left and feed them to them for the day. You kind of get ready to set off, and you find yourself standing outside of the outside of Phenom's library, rested, slightly more wealthy for it, and with one dragon mark kind of scratched out of the way. You head off to your next destination, which is Robert's Indexer. As it turns on, it indicates in one direction, and for a time you walk together with Phenom and Emma and the mind-controlled Deborah. But eventually you come to a crossroads where the indexer points up some stairs and Phenom says, "It seems it's time for us to part ways."
Oh, before we go, we forgot to ask. Do the pseudo dragons have names that could help them be referred to? Perhaps names that they answer to?
Perhaps it's best if you don't name them. I find that it's difficult to prevent attachment once you know something's name.
That's
So Deborah was Emma's idea.
Yeah.
Magnus just kind of, and he's like, I know you don't have the best memories, but we could bring you back with us to the top if you'd like.
Me? To the surface world? Maybe one day Emma, but...
Oh, you know, he was addressing Emma, most definitely.
Oh, if you're just addressing her, Phenom actually won't say anything. Emma just says, like, kind of looks at Phenom and you guys, and, like, for a moment she kind of looks down at her hands, like, in front of her. One of which is just like a bare human hand, and the other one which has her, like, black gloved, like, magical focus that she wears. Thanks, but I'll stay.
The surface world can be a bit of a cold and unforgiving place, but you know, anything could happen. So, if you're gonna go, don't go alone.
Alright. When they part, oh, I'm sad. I'm really sad. He's gonna give her the blanket of warmth.
Oh shit.
It's okay, remove the blanket of warmth from your inventory. Emma is grateful for it, especially when you explain what it is. She says, "Thanks. That's nice of you."
Yeah, that's just a goodbye gift. I don't have any great parting words.
Okay. Well, stay safe, and if you need some place to stay, call first.
Of course.
And maybe wait for us to actually find some place to stay.
Yes. If we were to find you, is there something that we can use an indexer to find, to look after, per se? I mean, if perhaps this Elder Brain you spoke of becomes a problem in the future, we may have to be called in to deal with it.
I imagine if you asked
For...
the indexers to point you towards a talisman of an alcove, you would find me.
Oh, that's perfect.
I would tell it to go for an illithid, but I think our chances are less likely of finding the one we're looking. So
Yes, you're far more likely to find something else if you come in searching for that. Now then, I wish you luck on your journey. Perhaps someday we'll meet again, although it seems unlikely. Goodbye. And him and Emma and Deborah walk down that hallway together.
Goodbye.
with a face and body
Well,
like that, I don't
Emma
think
and
you can come
Deborah
to the
walk.
surface if you wanted to.
He floats.
Phenom just kind of floats.
Yeah,
He
he doesn't actually walk anywhere.
Inspiring.
Magnus thinks really loudly. Bye, Eggy.
Alright.
Brainwave.
And you guys get on your way to the next indexer.
What an unlikely crew to run into, but I suppose we would be too.
Got that right.
Totally forgot to remind you. What was I able to make with the alchemist tools?
Oh, I put a potion in your inventory.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah, no, it's worth noting, especially now, for the first time since Miles died, everyone is getting inspiring leader.
Yeah! What is it now?
Except for... Can I intentionally give Lunith like half of...
Yo, cuz, what the fuck?
Half of what?
Half of the inspiring leader.
I don't think so. I think
choose
you
to
have
just
to
not
either be
give
trying to inspire someone or not. I don't think you can half inspire someone.
Like, I love to imagine, like, the motivational speech, but, like, each and every one of you is a star. Except you. Shut the fuck up.
You're more of a candle.
I'm gonna roll a thing. Evens, he gets it. Odds, he doesn't. Let's see how Magnus is feeling today. Even, you get it.
Alright.
Why, you're so
Hey.
mean.
Thank you, my fellow human. I'm just a fellow
Literally
human
handing
gal
out
trying
buffs
to
to
find
the
a
party,
way.
and you're just like,
He's still pretty angry, and he did threaten Paxon the other day.
That's
That
true.
is true.
That's
Oh
only
my God.
tempered
Just
by
last
the
night.
fact
That
I'm
was
that,
pretty
a threat
sure.
out of love.
you know, that was only tempered by the fact that he's kind of doing it to benefit Robert. So, like I said, it's a
I
50-50
was
toss.
just gonna
Sorry,
say,
you
if you try to give it to Robert, it fails to inspire Robert.
Oof.
What
You
do you
see
mean?
here, it is...
Robert fails to be inspired by it. It doesn't work.
It's you don't get to choose. I get to choose.
Oh, I can choose to not accept temporary hit points.
Do you
I
want
can
it
just
for Bird
override
then?
them if I really
No,
want
I'm asking. You want it for Bird?
Bird would be good. Bird would
Yeah,
still
so
take
give it to your Bird.
As you guys walk through the library following the directions of the indexer, you eventually come to a... it appears that the kind of the rounded tunnel-like hallways that you walk in at this elevation in the library, they're cracked and slightly broken as you get to a place, and you see that there are a number of kind of scrawlings on the wall, presumably by previous adventurers, that have these sort of like, they're written in a variety of languages. There's some Dwarvish, there's some Elvish, there's some Common, and it just says, danger ahead, turn back. As the cavern kind of expands into this large space that's just dark and just kind of looms in front of you, and there's this kind of like draft that blows out of it towards you.
Oh, that's not good.
So I just want to make sure this was it like down a hallway or?
The hallway kind of comes to an end there where the stones kind of look cracked, and it looks like there's basically just a huge cavern.
Does it still
Robert
point us
cast.
in that direction?
The indexer points steadily into the danger, don't go here.
Robert casts protection from evil and good on himself and walks forward.
Okay. As Robert strides into the bad
You
place.
still haven't recovered yet.
Enough. I have enough.
We will leave off there for the evening.